Mute mics. Hey, somebody said the title was wrong. Let me know which channel that is, and we'll get that fixed. I thought I had it right on everything. We had some problems getting signed in. I apologize. Somebody said the title's wrong. It looks like it's on YouTube with Ginger. If it is, I can fix it during the in the promo. Welcome, everybody. Ryan Weaver is in the house, in the green room. We were just chatting, talking about how long it's been since the last time we had seen each other. Pretty crazy. Been a couple years. Please do me a favor, get this shared out to all your channels. We'll be spending the next couple hours together talking about a little bit about Ryan, his history, and what his life has all been about. It's an amazing story. And then we're going to go ahead and dive into local topics, national topics, global, and just get his perspective on things, which is always a good thing to do. We're putting everything in the channels, so please do me a favor, like I said, and share, like, and subscribe across all the channels. That would be an amazing thing. Did we find out which title was wrong, Libby?
Yeah, I'm looking.
I bet it's YouTube.
Nope.
No, it's right. Ginger says it's good. Don't worry about it, Ginger. I only just, literally scrambled and went crazy trying to figure it out. It's okay. No big deal. Folks, do me a favor. Libby is going to put up a link to our channel on Facebook if you want to know when we go live. That is how you do it. Sign up and you will get daily updates every time we make a post, but also you will know when we go live at 7 p.m. Eastern. If it's too difficult to remember, it's always 7 p.m. Eastern. Then join our channel on Facebook and you'll figure it out. We'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. Let's get this shared out on Twitter. We'll be right back with Ryan Weaver. Talk about country music, military service, two-time Gold Star veteran. We have him here tonight. See you in about 3 minutes.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The Dumb Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The Dumb Show on social media or thedumbshow.com.
The Dick Clark of country music.
Adjusting transmitter output.
Doesn't age.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me
I think
show.
I've lost
with
about
your
15
hosts,
since
Matt, Leroy,
I was going through my
Amy,
COVID
and
phase.
Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
All right, my Twitter people, let's get this thing shared out. We had close to, 200-300 on last night. Would love to see us get into that 500-600 range on Twitter. Only way we do that is, first of all, maybe by calling it X properly. Olivia has an announcement on donations to give us an update on Camp Hiawatha.
Camp Hiawatha.
Hello, you got to say hello, campers.
Hello, campers.
That's great, Liv. You did a great job.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
You've ever seen the movie Eat Meatballs?
No.
Oh, Lord. I'm failing you as a husband. You haven't seen Meatballs with Bill Murray? We're watching it tonight. That's it.
No. Ethan will definitely argue. We're watching
we got to watch 24. All right, so go ahead and make the announcement. We got Ryan in the green room. I got to get him out of there.
Because we have special guests tonight, we will be holding on donations and putting them in until after we are done having our wonderful guest on tonight.
And so that doesn't mean we don't want you to make them.
You can make donations, but please don't. I'm not putting them in until after the interview, so that's why if you don't see it come up right away.
Right, and if you guys don't donate when we're in incognito and in silence, we'll just kick Ryan off the show. So, just kidding. That's never going to happen. All right, I got to do this. He's got to sit uncomfortably in the green room while I do this. This is great. I'm excited for this. Ryan Weaver's story isn't written in headlines or Hollywood scripts. It's carved into the kind of grit and heartbreak most people spend their lives trying to avoid. He's a 2-time Gold Star family member, and that's not a title anyone ever asked for. It means he's buried not one, but 2 heroes. His brother, Chief Warrant Officer Aaron Weaver, came home from Mogadishu only to be killed in Iraq. Years later, Ryan's brother-in-law, Randy Billings, another warrior in the sky, was lost in Afghanistan. Both were pilots. Both gave everything. And Ryan kept going. He became a Black Hawk pilot himself, an officer, a combat veteran. He flew into danger while others ran from it, carried the weight of leadership, and came home not to rest, but to serve again in a different way. He traded his flight suit for boots and a mic, and the mission changed from warfighting to storytelling. Ryan's music doesn't come from a label. It comes from life, from folded flags, from empty chairs at the dinner table, from standing tall at military funerals and wondering how you're supposed to keep breathing when your heart's been ripped out. But somehow he does. Somehow he sings. And when he sings, you feel it. You feel the cost. You feel the pride. And maybe for just a minute, you understand what it means to be an American in the way our forefathers meant it to be. Ryan Weaver is not just a country artist. He's not just a veteran. He is a living tribute, a man who carries his family's legacy on his shoulders and lifts the rest of us up with his song. Ryan Weaver, it's a lot to live up to. My check's in the mail, man. I love you, buddy. Dude, it's so good to have you back, man. I didn't mean to make you all, shit. I'm sorry.
That was pretty impressive.
Thanks, buddy.
That was pretty impressive. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah, you're right. I sat here uncomfortably listening to that shit. It was great.
Oh man, dude, it's been a while. So Ryan was on our show back in 2022, I think, and things were going fairly well. And we had Liv. What was the music video?
I don't remember the name of it, but I remember there was a football game.
What do you think of me?
Yeah, that one.
Yep, that one. And then
Yes.
You've went through a lot since, and there's been a lot of things you've been working on, and would love to hear a catch up on you and tell your story. And I know you've told it a million times, but I know everyone here loves hearing about it. So I'll turn it over to you and tell us what you've been up to and a little bit about yourself that maybe I missed.
Well, for the number of folks out there, I don't know how many people are watching that don't know who I am. Hello. And thank you so much for bringing me back on the show. You guys gave me an opportunity and a platform to get what I felt was the most important music video I've ever done and song that I've ever written released. I think we debuted it obviously on here. And, we did just give everybody a background on me. Former military intelligence analyst turned Black Hawk aviator, warrant officer. My brother was in flight school at the time. When I went to flight school, Aaron, he was in flight school. We actually got to spend some time together during flight school. And he got done with flight school, went to Fort Bragg with the 82nd. And when I got done with flight school, I went to the 1st Armored Division. We were deployed to Iraq together. I was there shortly before him in 2003. And in 2004, on January 8th, he was actually a passenger in a medevac helicopter. And he had to get bi-monthly blood screenings for cancer. He had survived cancer, survived Somalia. He was a passenger in a medevac helicopter when it was shot down on the way to one of those bi-monthly blood screenings, and everybody on board was killed in action. I returned back from combat to his funeral. And before I went to combat, before I got restationed, I was in flight school and I was broke and started doing singing karaoke competitions in flight school, and it was helping me pay my bills. I actually didn't know until late in my 20s that it was something I was good at doing and was winning, and I loved it. It was that's Manny Cabo's photo right there. I got to give him some props.
That's a good photo. That is a
more
good
than any
photo.
other photo I've used in my entire career of music. Manny Cabo took that upstairs here in my house, and what a creative genius he is. But anyway, started when I came back to Aaron's funeral, looking for a purpose. The Sole Survivor Act made me non-deployable at that point because Aaron was my only full-blood sibling, and he was also that made me the sole surviving son to our biological father. And it took me about 2 years to get off or get out of the hole that I was in and even actually look at a Black Hawk. It was tough for me. People deal with stuff differently. Some get right back in the saddle. I personally felt that, and professionally felt that my lack of attention to what I was actually doing in my thoughts about my brother and dying in a Black Hawk and would put me at less than 100% in a cockpit. There we are at my flight school graduation. Actually, that's my older brother, Steve, on the right-hand side. Aaron followed in his footsteps, and I followed in Aaron's footsteps. And 2 of 4 of us, my dad died a couple of years ago, so he's no longer with us, and Aaron was no longer with us after that as well. But anyway, so I made a promise. I started chasing this dream of country music, and I made a promise to myself that I would never step on a stage without telling his story, and started chasing that dream in the bars and club scene in Southern Alabama, Northern Florida, and Central Florida, and Georgia. And then in 2012, retired from the military, moved up to Nashville to pursue my dream full time after retiring from the military. And started going after it. And in 2013, Randy Billings, my brother-in-law, was piloting a Black Hawk in Afghanistan, and Al-Qaeda was setting, they saw Al-Qaeda forces up at a cell phone tower, and they went to recon it, and turns out they had put an IED next to that cell phone tower, blew the tail boom off the aircraft. Had a passenger ejected at the top of the mountain, but the rest of the crew rolled down the mountainside, and he was killed in action as well. We became a second-time Gold Star family. And I had already started pursuing, going after the country music dream. Crank It, my first music video, had already come out. Things were starting to progress. Shows were starting to get bigger. Crank It really did well for me because it was my first music video on national television. And then 2014, got involved with a Charlie Daniels group, and David Corley, his manager, was extremely kind to me and brought me on board to do my first show, opening up for Charlie at the Ryman Auditorium. That was actually at West Point right there. That was cool. That one came in later on while I was touring with professional bull riders. Actually, West Point, going to go off on a tangent, but West Point Military Academy, their Benny Havens band released an album, and I was actually on that album cover where it says Charlie, featuring Charlie Daniels and Ryan Weaver on the album cover, which is pretty spectacular. But just a really cool part of the dream. But anyway, started doing big shows, got to do Grand Ole Opry, got to do with Charlie Daniels, introduced me onto the Grand Ole Opry, got to do Bridgestone Arena between Ted Nugent and Michael W. Smith, some massive shows. There it is right there. That's pretty crazy that I got my name on an album cover with Charlie Daniels.
That is a great looking cover, dude.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I can't say. I mean, West Point did it themselves, but I got to go up and perform with the Benny Havens band, and that was an incredible experience right on the Potomac River. It was really neat. But so then I started had a song called Burn, and the whole Benghazi thing happened, and I went at the volunteer jam that I performed at. They were promoting the film, but it was still in final edits, and we put Burn. Or I was talking to Mark Geist about it, and changed the lyrics a little bit to make it a little bit more for potentially for the movie. And John Tigan actually really got on board with helping us and presented it to them, but they had already gone through the final edits by the time that we got the song done and sent to them. So it never made the movie, but he got Paramount to authorize the use of the trailer clips for the film to help promote the film with the song. And Chris Baronto got on board with that as well. And I'm incredibly proud of that project. It really was the launching pad to my career to the next level. It created opportunities and shows that I could never have imagined doing so early in my career without a song on the radio or formal management or a record deal. And got selected to do a Freedom Fest in Colorado because of that song. And just so happened, the CEO of the PBR, Sean Gleason, was in the front row and loved my show, loved my story, and brought me on to be the patriotic voice of professional bull riders. That was in 2016. We wrote a 4-song EP called Celebrate America and released that EP underneath PBR's record label at the time. My essentially first record deal, but they also contracted me to do all of their arena shows, starting at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas as a headliner, and Steven Tyler from Aerosmith was the headliner the year before. And then I came on, nobody knew who that guy was.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but we did the Celebrate America campaign that year, and we honored our fallen local law enforcement officer or first responder military family. And my first show in 2018 was Madison Square Garden, which was pretty killer. And we did 28 arena shows across the nation in 18 and 19. And COVID happened, and they brought me back on board in 21 to do a couple shows in Australia, which was pretty killer. They sent me out there, I think, in 2019 as well. So I got to go to Australia twice with them. But since then, everything that I've released has been on my own, crowdfunded with fans and self-funded. No management, no record deal. Just been taking care of business myself. Got into the motivational speaking thing as well. But that's my story, and it's pretty incredible. We're writing a book now, getting a book put together. A good friend of mine, Barbara Allen, who is a Gold Star family member herself. Her husband was actually murdered, by one of his own soldiers.
Oh,
But
gosh.
she's co-writing the book with me, and I'm excited that we're going to be getting that out here. It's been a process for me because I've been traveling so much over the last few months. But my hopes are that we'll get it knocked out by the end of the year and be able to release it potentially in January next year on Aaron's death day, which will be January 8th. That's our hope.
Oh, that's
I gotta be able to edit my part of it faster and not be traveling so much. But I got a couple months home now, so hopefully we'll get it done.
You need any help, let me know. So I love that type of stuff. And if you need any editing.
Well, you're a great writer. That was pretty spectacular what you just wrote. That blew me away.
That means a lot. It's so weird how everything's come full circle. So not to take away you and your story, but if you remember when you behind me, I had a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and Geist had signed it when I was at Flags of Valor, which is one of the connections how you and I met, which was through doing the logos for your coffee through Proper Patriot. So this is where the story gets interesting. So then you come on the show, and we see each other's Instagram stuff, and once in a while we'll be like, "Oh, hey, that's a great video," or "a good shot," or "hope you're doing well," and that's pretty much it. We're internet friends. And but I know if there was something I would need, I know how you are, man. You're a good dude. So it's interesting. So one of my listeners named Deirdre, who winds up being a smoke show, who essentially looked like Raquel Welch when she was younger, was photographed by Barry Morgenstein, who is a New York photographer. Yeah, everyone knows Barry. And she's like, "You have to go see Barry. Your show's getting bigger. You're up and coming." And everyone goes and does this. And I'm like, "Sure, let me go ahead and do the second mortgage on the house and sell my Learjet, and we'll go ahead and go get Barry." And Barry's he's like, just call him and talk to him. So I talked to him. And anyway, so we go and we do the photo shoot with Barry, and we get our headshots, and it was just an amazing thing. And then he's like, I know Chris Tonto Baronto. And I'm like, well, so do I. I've read his book. I've seen the movie. So he introduced us, and then he comes on the show, and it was just the 20K show happened where we were raising the money for the new studio. And I know you would be there. You were booked solid, and I gave you no notice. And you're like, I'll come in July, and here you are. And it's just weird how many things over the last couple of years have all been kind of tied together, and the sinew is all the same. And it's just weird to hear you talk about Baronto. And I'm like, holy shit, he was just on the show. And it was probably one of the greatest things. He took Ethan, my son, and you talked to Ethan when he was on, but he signed a book for him and took a minute to stop the show. And he's just, it's salt of the earth. He's a lot like you. And
he's as good as it gets.
He's a great dude. Just a great dude.
Really is.
Yeah.
Had it not been for him, Burn would have never happened. I mean, John Tigan really helped us. Build a huge foundation to be able to get of money to be able to get the initial payment in. But that video was a pretty expensive video to get done. It would blow people's minds on how much money gets spent on those kind of things. Because if I did my own videography and knew how to do all that kind of stuff, it'd be great. But when you want to create something that's that quality, it costs a lot of money. Chris Baronto came on board and really skyrocketed the funding for it. And not only that, I got to meet him and hang out with him and talk to him. And believe it or not, you remember when he got on, he was doing a lot of lives and stuff on social media. Mm-hmm. He did his first live in my truck with me.
No way.
His first ever live on Instagram in my truck with me when we were going to shoot the ending evening scenes of when the Learjet scene and the hangar scenes were all performance scenes done at night. So we filmed all those scenes at the very end of the night. And it was like, I don't know, we started at 9:30 on the performance scenes, but we had to do all those other scenes while it was daylight still. Anyway, but we filmed it going to it. It was pretty incredible. And that was his first one. Then all of a sudden he was on all the time. Like he was like, oh, the social media thing is great for the brand and, gets his message out there. But yeah, he's as good as it gets. John Tigan is also, he and I have continued, we both have been, I would consider myself a friend of Chris Baronto and John Tigan. Both of them have been incredible human beings and really helped me launch my career to the next level. And they didn't have to. They just did it out of kindness of their hearts, and they're both very, very good human beings. I got nothing bad to say about either one of them.
Well, you're in that circle, dude. So like there's no reason. I remember when you came on Tony and Friendly show, I'm like, we'll have a check for you next time. And you're like, you won't need one. And lo and behold, you're here again. So we appreciate you, dude. It's amazing if you take care of people.
Oh, you guys are writing checks now?
No, we're not. I promise, but we're writing checks to for rent. So no, we're doing good, man. We're not doing, it doesn't matter. But the goal was never to be, at 10 million.
I spend all my money on cocaine and hookers.
That's right. That's right. Well, that would be the goal.
Totally kidding. Folks out there, that was a joke. I don't do cocaine.
We're actually broadcasting to the Christian Academy right now, so that's really good.
Are you serious?
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, I'm just fucking with you, dude. Come on, B. But no, it's yeah, but man, it's things are good, dude. And you know what? I look at it this way: you look at people like Chris, and you look at what he's been through, and you look at some of the people. They push through this stuff for years before they make it, and some people never do. And I look at it this way: if I'm doing this when I'm 60, okay. Is it my goal? Not really. So I'm excited to hear about your future. You got something coming up here, which you were talking about with Hero Fest. Tell us a little bit about this and what does it mean to you and how can people participate?
A lot of folks out there know that there are a bunch of bullshit, not veteran supporting and hero supporting nonprofit organizations. Essentially, they're making a lot of money off of donations and not giving back to the community. But I've been involved with the Warrior Shield Foundation since their inception. I was actually the first vice president of the board and stepped back to avoid conflicts of interest with me being an artist and supporting the organization as well. But Chance Shawell is one of my best friends on the planet. He's an amazing human being, former Federal Air Marshal, and he's been running the Warrior Shield Foundation from essentially running it from the beginning. And has run events every year and I performed at every one of these events to support. Last year, we had Bo Bice from American Idol opened up for me. We had Shawn Hul. He opened up the show, and I got a headline last year. Well, we agreed that Bo and I could. I mean, Bo's got a much bigger following than me. I was actually kind of embarrassed to headline it at the time because Bo really he's got a massive following, and a lot of folks know who he is. But I mean, a lot of folks in the crowd have been there every single year for these performances as well, so they know me as well, and they know know pretty much every word of my songs. And we blew the doors off the place last year, but this year Bo's going to headline it, and I'm going to open for him, and it's going to be an incredible show. Shawn Holcomb's opening out, and we've got another artist that's coming in, and Chance will kill me because I can't remember her name because I'm horrible about names, but she's got actually a pretty big following as well. Got a great patriotic song. I think it was called, I don't know, it's Trump something, but it has done really well. But gosh, I feel stupid because I don't know the answer to that. But either way, I forget my name half the time.
So do I.
But yeah, it's Warrior Shield, the Warrior Shield Foundation supporting a great cause. You guys can check out on my social media pages, on my Ryan Weaver Country at Instagram. They're supporting a great cause, and they collect any money that above the proceeds that the Warrior Shield Foundation collects. I believe that there's a percentage that they collect. It all goes towards minimal administrative costs, 100% volunteer board, and goes into the next. I don't think I got the event up there. Goodness gracious! I got to get my net. I got to get my got to get my my network person or my website person to put that up. Okay, that's two stupid things I feel stupid about right now.
That's okay. We're promoting it for you. We got it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're throwing it out there. Oh, look at the kitty. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's our cat.
This is a regular.
We're a real show, dude. Like that's why we do have our loyal fans, because we don't do any corporate stuff. Our dog's in here all the time. Our cat, our kids come in. So we like to keep it family based.
Warrior Weekend down in Orlando. You guys could check it out on my social media pages. Like I said, I've been posting a whole lot about it. They're looking for sponsorships, different things like that, folks to get involved. There are going to be some really cool people there. John Tigan's coming. You got Dave Boone Benton as well. I believe he's supposed to be there. A lot of folks don't know who Boone is, but if you watch the movie, he's the one that said all the gods, all the heavens, all the gods, all the heavens, all the hells are within you. I believe that's that's the saying that he said. But he is awesome too. Like, what a great dude. I mean, they're just, you meet these guys and they're superheroes, and you don't expect what you get when their hearts come out, and they're genuinely good people. And Boone is just, he's at top of my list as well, but he's going to be there. We got Greg Gadsden's going to be coming. If anybody's seen Battleship, he was the guy with no legs that saved the world. He'll be there. There are a ton of other folks that are coming on as well. I think you guys will appreciate what gets done, but the money goes right to the cause that they're supporting. With exception to the seed money for next year to put on another event for another cause, and they're minimal administrative costs. They have to have seed money and that kind of stuff, and sponsorship dollars start coming in, but they still have to reserve the hotel and all that kind of stuff for the next year. So you guys know, I would not put my name behind anything that has not been vetted and is not genuine, is not real, and they're a great organization to get involved with.
So we're getting a lot of questions, of course, and anybody who wants to call in, go ahead and call in. Be respectful, or you'll get the boot. Your social.
I'll jack them up. I'm happy to do that.
Oh, dude, I know what you can do. I'm not.
I'll battle. I don't care.
You and I've taken a few trolls down ourselves on each other's pages. How do they how do they find you on Instagram, Twitter? It is different on all of them. I have them written down, but you can just do it right.
Ryan Weaver Country, but if you want to get all of my social pages, ryanweaver.net is where all my social pages are in one place. But Ryan Weaver Country is my Instagram, and my page is public as Ryan Weaver. My artist page got hacked. Someone took over it and was targeting women and children and old people for crypto. And so I had my artist page taken down, unfortunately, and I can't start another artist page because they say I'm impersonating myself, right. Which I don't get. But anyway, but my Facebook page is where my Instagram and Facebook kind of work interchangeably. I share on both. Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I think it's either Weaver Country or Ryan Weaver Country on each one of those. Quite honestly, haven't found a good following on X, Twitter, whatever. My TikTok following's okay, but it's a mixed bag of stuff. I do a lot of fishing stuff on there, music video stuff, you name it. But I don't do any politics on there. If you want to hear any politics, my Instagram page and Facebook pages are usually the way to go. But RyanWeaver.net has the links to all those.
Yeah, I had 96,000 followers in 72 hours on TikTok, and then they banned my account. 3 strikes, bam, 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 got rid of me. 96,000 in 72 hours. Had 2 videos.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, they cried. Well, Facebook blew up very similarly, and YouTube was doing well, and then they banned me forever. So I had to create a pseudo account. But we went through that. I mean, we talked about it on the show. I mean, COVID was brutal for us. I mean, they did whatever they could to shut us down.
Don't tell the truth, but let's all scream about the First Amendment right now.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get into that in a few seconds. Okay, so we've got some questions. Liv, knock them out of the park. What do we got?
To be honest, I haven't seen any.
Yeah, you do. Right here.
Okay.
Mel Lowe. You can read it off.
Okay. Is Ryan ever contemplating doing any tours in Canada?
Mel, I would love to go to Canada. I've got family up in Vancouver, but anywhere in Canada, with exception to, I believe Toronto doesn't like conservatives, so they might not like my show. But no, I'd love to come up there and slam it. It's just I book my own shows. I've always booked my own stuff. Anytime I've had anybody booking my stuff, it really has not worked out as well for me as doing it myself. It's easier just to deal directly with folks than going through somebody to go through somebody kind of thing. So, but yeah, if you know of any concerts or any festivals up there that you can get a bug in their ear about rock and country music artist down here in Nashville, Tennessee, that's an independent artist, let me know.
We might have to get a couple steaks and some whiskey and get you to come up here. We're thinking of having a bunch of our top fans come out, and Still Point, who does our intro music and all that. They're a good friend of the band and the show. They're like our band now. And if we ever grow big enough, we love these guys. So they're going to come up and put on a show for everybody. And hey, you never know, man. I mean, this guy, he runs a distillery. He's big in Virginia area, and he pays people to put on great shows. He just opened up. He's a good friend of ours. So we'll talk about that offline. And I need to get your cell phone because after all these years, I don't have it. You and I just do email and Instagram. So I'll throw yours my way. Next
we'll
question.
Kill it. And the thing is, your intro music is a lot like my stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. This would be awesome to put it on for the dummies. And I mean, we've got a good network of people. I mean, these guys raised us $20,000 in 5 hours to do this studio, and they care and they want to be successful and they want this to be successful. So I thought that would just be amazing, dude. Get you out here to Virginia.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
All right, let's talk about that because I think that would sell some tickets. I mean, you and Still Point, forget about it. I'll go.
We'll blow the roof off the place. It'll be awesome.
Ryan,
it's not a tame show by any stretch.
No,
any new songs in the making.
It's in the middle of Blue Ridge and Shenandoah, by the way. So it literally is in the valley of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia. So it is
that'd be beautiful.
Perfect for a video, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to sell you on it. I just brought it up, but go ahead.
No,
you got to let Liv read the question.
Oh, he saw the question.
So. You got to read it anyway. It's like Vanna White.
Any new stuff in the works? I have several. I just signed on with an independent record label. It's a quasi record deal. Essentially, they're under Capitol Records, but the guy who produced Dave Vislaki, he produced my song Arrival, and pretty slamming song. Got a mix of dubstep and some slamming 80s rock guitar. Eric Turner from Warrant actually co-wrote that song with me. He's got that initial guitar lick on there. That's his. But when we were touring with the PBR, I hooked up with Warrant because they were with the professional bull riders as well. Anyway, co-wrote that song with him, and but he actually runs the record label, and we're pushing a lot of my songs for movie trailers and for Netflix specials right now. But I do have 4 or 5 songs that we've either already recorded or are worthy of recording. But everything takes money, and it's kind of like, do I want to, after the money I spent on the recordings of these songs, do I want to release them like a name in a phone book, or do I want to have music videos go with them? And one of the songs I co-wrote with this awesome artist named Craig Campbell. You might have heard of him, but if you look up his stuff, he's a 90s, 2000s country artist, top 40 country artist, but he's a patriot. But we wrote this song that I really, really want to get out. And we have a music video concept for that already in the works, but we got to get it funded just like everything else. And I've already got everything set up and ready to go, but it's just a matter of whether I want to get into the funding process of getting a music video done again, because it's pretty extensive, takes a lot of time. And right now I've been doing a lot of traveling for either work or play, got connected with my family because we've lost my mom, my dad, and my grandmother in the last 2 years. So just kind of getting connected with family, and we'll once I get back into the swing of things, we'll try and get some funding together and make it happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all the loss, man. I think everyone's been kind of feeling that, and of course it's age. You know, we get a little older, and Liv, we got another one here.
Yes. Terry wants to know if you are related to any Weavers in Alvarado, Texas, or in Fort Smith in Arkansas.
I don't know. So the Weaver side of me came from my grandfather on his side, and Aaron and I were adopted at 2 years and 9 months by my dad, who raised us, Mike, who was in that photo. So essentially, he was our stepfather, and he adopted us, and I didn't know him as anything other than my dad. And some of my family history is out of Texas and out of Kansas. I don't know if we have any history out of Arkansas or not. So I could possibly be, because we're a huge family, but not sure.
Okay. Well, you know, the chances. It's like.
And thanks for the compliment, whoever wrote that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the compliment.
Terry King did that. Brian McGuire says, "Are you independent by choice, or do you want to be picked up by a label?"
The label thing is a bit crazy at my age. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I'm perfectly fine with admitting my age. Labels at 52, they're going to shelve you for a bit, and they're really looking for 16-year-olds on TikTok nowadays. So whether it's going to benefit me at 52 years old or not, I don't know. Because I may not get a song released for the next 3 years, and at that point, you know, hitting 55 years old, I mean, people are going to be looking at me as an old man on stage, as opposed to, you know, hip hop, you know, new hot artist that's out there. So, I mean, the funding that record labels have is great, but then you owe them that money, and
Right.
I don't owe anybody a dime. So everything that I've been able to accomplish in my career since 2000, and I actively moving to Nashville in 2012, that's really when things started kicking off. So since 2012, everything that I've been able to accomplish, I don't owe anybody any money. And that's a great thing to be able to say in my position, because I've been able to make a career out of it and not owe anybody any money, which is a good thing. So there's the upsides and downsides to the label of it. But this independent label that I'm on right now, they're not taking any money from me. It's essentially they're investing the time and then putting, you know, then they'll get theirs on the backside essentially.
On this panel, we're, you know, a few years shy of 150 between the three of us. And I got to say, if anyone believes that genetically human beings aren't more youthful today, and if you take care of yourself, take care of your body and eat right and all the other stuff, I don't think the panel looks are the ages that we are. I think Olivia.
I don't feel 52. I'll tell you that right now. And plus, my
No.
wife will tell you I act like I'm 18 all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. And of course, Olivia, she brings down the average and the median because, you know, being 26 and all. So
Appreciate that.
It's you.
Shit.
It's you.
Wish that was true. Brian.
Wish that was true.
Brian. No, in this. Brian says, "Oh, look at this. We have a question." Brian McGuire says, "If they pay you, are they still hookers?" Because about the cocaine and hookers joke.
Only if I have to give a refund after I'm done.
That's right. So listen, let's get into. Oh wait, we've got more questions.
That turned your face really red.
Oh, I always turn red when I laugh because I don't know.
Gotcha.
I always, you'll see it the whole show. I always,
cool.
Yeah, I wasn't embarrassed. Trust me. That's that was tame.
Yeah,
You don't get embarrassed very easily.
No, when I laugh and if it's a real laugh, my face turns red. I'm a big guy and I don't know. I kind of squeeze up when I laugh and I get this giant smile on my face. It's not very often that I smile. Usually I'm pretty stoic. Questions, Liv, give them the first one.
Where was home before Nashville?
Well, I started down in Florida, but I mean, I joined the Army at 18, was in for almost 21 years. So I say I'm from everywheresville, I guess. And ended up in Nashville in 2000 after, retiring in 2012. So, West Central Florida, Citrus County, a little town called Floral City is where my house was. Graduated from Citrus High School in Inverness, Florida. About an hour north of Tampa, if anybody has never heard of it, but it's where the manatees are. Homosassa Springs, Crystal River, Inverness are all in Citrus County. Everybody knows that area for the manatees and springs that are there.
Gotcha. All right.
And then, we have two questions because the one we need to go into the pizza question because we didn't ask him. It wasn't a part of our show when he was here last. So
Yeah.
do the.
So speaking of trucks only, what are you a fan of? Chevy, Ford, Dodge, or Toyota?
Toyota.
I have owned everything but a Chevy, I guess I could say. And my current truck is a Toyota 4Runner TRD off-road. And it is by far, of all the vehicles I've ever owned, my favorite vehicle. I love it. It's made here in the USA, so I can say it's a made in the USA vehicle. And my sister actually works for Toyota as an engineer. But I got this, what do they call it? Lunar Rock. It's like a greenish gray color, and jacked it up and did all kinds of fun stuff with it. And I absolutely love driving that truck. It is, I've had that thing for 2 years. And you know, when you buy a new car and you park it and you're walking away from it and you turn around and look back at it, I still do that with that truck. I still do it every day. Every time I get out of that truck, I'm like, damn, that's a nice truck.
You posted this on Instagram, didn't you? Your truck?
I think I was in it, but I don't think I posted it. I don't think I posted the whole thing.
Okay.
I do a lot of social media posts out, sitting in the seat, but sitting in my driver's seat. But I haven't posted the whole truck. Maybe I need to do that because it's a killer truck. I mean,
you should.
Everybody that's seen it says it's a nice ride. But I mean, I put a little bit of VA money in it. When my VA disability payment came in after a year and a half of going through the process.
Got a caller, so go ahead. Sorry. We got a caller. So we can't afford screeners here, dude. So they just call in. But go ahead. You got your VA payment a year and a half, and then you put it into the truck.
A year and a half, and then and I put a little extra money into it because it needed a lift kit and some new tires and some other cool stuff added to it. And I've never done that to a vehicle before. I've just kept a stock vehicle. So it was nice to be able to have something that I love. And I love that vehicle. So Toyota's the answer.
All right, good enough. On the phone is going to be, I believe, Mel, not Vicky, but let's see if we recognize the BC number. Who's on the call?
It's Mel.
Go figure. Go figure.
Hi, Mel.
My local Canuck. Mel, from Gay, North Dakota. Mel,
Gay, North Dakota.
What would you like to talk to Mr. Ryan Weaver
Doesn't sound
about?
like we're going to battle on this one.
No, she's salt, dude. She's one of the good ones. So she's
awesome.
Military and works for the Canadian government, and she's one of our good ones. So Mel, go ahead.
Ryan, just to further my question about you coming to Canada to do a whatever, on Vancouver Island we have a huge country music festival every August. It's called Sunfest Country Music Festival, and we've had Alan Jackson, Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, Tim McGraw, Jason Aldean.
I'll get it for you, Ryan. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Travis, like everybody. And on the website, if you go to the Sunfest Country Music Festival, there's a form or an application, like whatever, for artists to send in to apply to come to the festival. So if you really want to consider coming to a country music festival, this one has been, and it's 4 days and it is packed. Like, I mean, it is just, it's a huge, as you said, like the names I just gave you, like it has a huge draw for big names. So you might, if you want, consider it because it would be really great. Your music is awesome. And there is a huge country music persona here in Canada, as you would know that. Yeah, we like our country music. So
it's awesome.
And I think it would be a great addition to that festival.
Mel, send me info so I can send it to Ryan. Okay, and then Ryan, go ahead. Sorry.
Are you in Vancouver?
I'm on Vancouver Island. In fact, I live about 5 kilometers from where this festival is held every year.
Okay. My brother-in-law owns 2 bike shops in Vancouver. I
Here
don't
we
know if it's
go.
on Vancouver Island.
Here we go,
It's-
everyone.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he owns 2 bike shops over there, and but there's a brewery across the street from one of his bike shops. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about. It's on the main drag there. I couldn't tell you what the street it is, but the main drag going up and down a couple blocks up from or down from the Lululemon place. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know
Vancouver,
Lululemon's all over the place, but
Yeah.
I think he's on the other side of the bridge from Vancouver Island, I think. But anyhow,
well, we don't
yeah,
have
I mean,
we don't
I'd
have
love to get up there. I love that city too. It's an incredible city.
I'll send the info to Matt, and then maybe Matt can forward it to you, because it would be really great. Like, we've had, like I said, all the top names come here just to this small, like, and it doesn't turn out to be small. Like, it's with those names, Keith Urban and Alan Jackson, and
Yeah.
like, to me, those are headliners, and that's just this festival's been going on for about 15 plus years now, and it just keeps drawing. Carrie Underwood's been here, like, they've all been here, like,
We gotta
and they
get you there.
come. And,
That's huge.
yeah,
It's huge.
it's huge.
Maybe we can do we can like send Ryan to the Jamboree fundraiser or something and get his ass out there, because I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe it gets me to Canada. So go pick up an
And also
Avalanche
the-
game.
And also the Calgary Stampede is a really good venue too.
All right.
Yeah.
Mel, send
Well,
me
if
that
there's
stuff.
anything I can tell you about how it all works, just real quick, how it all works, and I won't get too long on this, but you got to know the promoter, really. Like, you got to, for an independent artist like myself, you got to know the promoter to get into it, because and for me to travel all the way from Nashville with a band and perform in Canada, getting in with a promoter to where they'll actually pay you enough to pay you enough to pay for it, much less make any money. Sometimes, I mean, I'll do big shows for exposure for free, or, to where I don't make any money. But I got to the point to where I can't pay out of pocket and lose money on something, because I was going broke doing it. And the exposure happened when I was with a PBR there, the PBR, and that got me up to the national level. But then once again, you get down to the independent level. If you're not performing in arenas like that, whether you can afford to do a show or not really is what determines whether you do the show or not. Because I'd rather sit at home with my wife and do nothing than fly across the United States and lose money.
I'm with you.
That's just me.
Yeah, because when you're with your wife, you'll lose your money, but at least you're at home with your wife and not traveling across the
She
country.
makes more money than I do, so I don't lose my money on her. That's for sure.
See, Liv. So
Thank you for the input. Thank you for the information. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that up. But if you happen to get a bug in the ear and that somebody knows a promotion, if you reach out to me on social media, I run my own social media pages, so you're actually talking to me.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Nope, that'd be awesome. But if you could get to Sunfest, oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Right on.
Be
Mel,
killer.
thank you, Mel. We love you. Appreciate you,
Thanks,
buddy.
Mel.
Good talking to you twice today.
you.
It's an honor.
Thanks.
We FaceTimed earlier. One other question from Amy. Did you know Toby Keith by chance?
I actually met Toby Keith in a Red River softball game down in Texas. He was on, Matthew McConaughey was on the Texas team, and I was on the Ohio team with him, or Ohio State team. Let me get that right. It was Ohio State? Was it Ohio? What am I saying? Oklahoma. Goodness, he's an
Starts with an
Oklahoma
O.
guy, right?
Yeah,
He's an Oklahoma guy.
I think so.
Anyway, yes, I got to hang out with him all night, and he showed up drunk, typical of Toby Keith. But he was well known for that. They partied on the plane all the way from Cabo. Apparently, they flew in from Cabo for the game to fly right back out again on Matthew McConaughey's jet. But I will say this: that was not a bad statement about him showing up drunk. He was one of the most kind, incredibly kind human beings I've ever met. Like he just sat there like he was a normal dude with the rest of us in the dugout, just talking to us and just was cool as cool could be. The one thing that I really wish that I could have done while he was alive was do a show with him. But I did get to hang out with him for a night down in Texas, and it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, he's just a rare talent. His voice,
No,
God,
butter,
so good.
butter. Yeah.
Like Mike Rowe as an orator is Toby Keith as a singer. It's just, it's incredible. Every time he comes on his listen, you have to stop and listen to it. You're right. Butter is the best way to describe it on warm bread for sure.
Smooth, man. And the thing is, he's one of those guys that showed you don't have to have a Chris Stapleton octave to be able to, the Chris Stapleton octaves to be able to sing, like to actually have a voice like that. I mean, it's just so good. It reminds me a whole lot. I wouldn't say reminds me, but it's like George Strait's voice. It's like, those guys, they don't have to do all the crazy stuff with their voice to prove that they're incredible vocalists. And yeah, I mean, I was honored to get to hang out with him. So, and plus what he did for us, like everything that he did and gave back to the hero community. And I say hero community because it was not just military. He did a lot for the military, but law enforcement, first responder, border patrol, you name it. He was a consummate professional in supporting us in that regard. And it takes a big heart to do that. And he did it.
Yeah.
He did it right.
Yeah. He stuck to his opinions too. During a time it wasn't always popular, going after the Dixie Chicks who were corporate funded and bankrolled, and he's just like, I'll take him on. And he's just a winner. I love the guy's music and I loved his personality. All right, so it's been a little bit. We've warmed
I've got
up.
one more question.
Son of a bitch! All right,
it is the most important question.
Oh
of
yeah,
the
we got to
evening.
ask this thing.
The
Why don't we have a shirt that asks this question?
Okay, you need to make. You're the designer. Make the shirt.
Go ahead.
Do you eat pineapple on pizza?
Answer this right, Weaver.
Yes, I do.
Son of a bitch, dude! What the?
Yay! He's on my side.
I love
finally.
Hawaiian pizza.
Oh,
I
there
love
you go.
Hawaiian
It's the
pizza.
best.
I'm sorry. It's a love-or-hate relationship with people, and I understand that. So I don't. If somebody doesn't like it, I completely understand, because I mean, there are some people like you that just absolutely despise it. And I can't even tell you when I ate it the first time. It may have been in Hawaii when I was stationed there, because I was there in Hawaii for 3 years and doing that. But yeah, I do. Sorry.
Ryan Weaver's on my team now. You got most everyone. I mean, gotta give me one. Come on.
It's all right.
It's all good. If you don't, we can order a half and half pepperoni or half and half, whatever, and I'll eat that too.
Those sons of bitches always cross over into my pizza. That's the problem I have with it, is that they say it's a half and half, but there's always a piece of pineapple on the freaking 1 or 6 position. Always. They always muck it up. And I mean, it's like when you drink a soda and you're thinking, like, I'm going to drink a Pepsi. Well, I don't drink soda, but if you did, and you drink a coffee, but then it's like lemonade or something. You know what I'm saying? You drink something you're not expecting. You're like, oh my God, that's pineapple on pizza that I'm not ready for.
I saw Bobby's comment. Matt doesn't hate pineapple as much as he hates Oregon.
Oh yeah, she's like, Matt doesn't hate pineapple as much as he hates Oregon. No, I hate Oregon much more than I hate pineapple. I love pineapple. Pineapple's delicious. It's
just not on pizza.
Just not on pizza. It's just the Italian.
Only way to eat pizza.
You go over to Italy and they're just like fucking Americans.
I mean, there are people that actually eat that like green bell peppers on pizza, and I can't stand green bell peppers.
Yeah,
I can't stand green bell peppers. I'll eat the red ones and yellow ones and orange ones, but I will not the green ones. They're just nasty to me.
They don't taste like they should. They don't taste like yellow and orange and red. And I'm with you. I
don't know. They got a bitter taste. It's just nasty.
Yeah. Riley says Matt's right. Pineapple migrates on the pizza. I know I'm right. I've had enough pizza. Listen, I don't do junk food very much, but
I think it only migrates for people that don't like it.
Exactly.
Well, that's right. It's like a cat. The damn thing won't stay away from you. Your pineapple knows you hate it and wants your attention. All right, can we go?
Yes.
All right, good. We've done.
Okay.
This is
Is it time for politics?
Let's get to the real shit. God, this is just. I mean, seriously.
I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard over here.
This would go so much better with a whiskey and a cigar. First time, really, that we've had Donald Trump in office when you and I have been together. Walk me through the whole emotional process of watching Donald Trump lose 2020, going through that, seeing Biden come in and literally taking a crap on our country, and then Trump back. And I know you weren't watching the show. I know you don't have any time to do that, but we crushed the election results. Like our accuracy was like 99.8%. We got down that he would win the popular. We knew the swing states. We crushed the predictions. Little bit of, you know,
right.
a little bragging. What are your thoughts on this process? Give it to me.
I am at 52 years old when he won this election. This will summarize everything prior to that. It was one of the best days in my life. It was I mean, I was walking on freaking air because for 4 straight years I had to battle on social media. I never shut up. That's the thing. For Biden's 4 straight years, I never stopped fighting against the bullshit. People were like, Ryan, you're gonna lose your music career, this, that, and the other. I'm like, you tell me, do you know where I came from? Do you know my story? Do you understand what happened to me? Why would I want to see my country go into the shitter the way that it was going for 4 why would I sit back and let that happen? I didn't sign on a dotted line to serve, to make my, to make this country a better place and for the freedoms that I believed in for the 21 years, and just all of a sudden decide to stop. But we were sitting there watching the systematic destruction of our country on a day-by-day basis, and actually watching however many Americans, we can't say half because I don't believe that that's true.
I agree with you.
Actually cheer it on and say, because they were sold to hate one man. I mean, they couldn't even tell me why. Nobody could ever tell me why. They were sold to hate one man. Solely because of that, they were willing to watch all Americans lose everything that this country stands for, or this country was built on. In 4 years, if we would have had another 4 years of this with that garbage, that dump truck that was running, or wasn't running, that was appointed for the voters out there, if we'd had another 4 years of that, we wouldn't have had a country that we would recognize. I don't believe. I think it would have been, everything that they were trying to do would have been put under a microscope and made even bigger, and destroyed us even more. And the crazy thing is, when you look at folks like you and I, who love this country, who believe in how beautiful our freedoms are and how incredible our freedoms are, we're made to be the enemy by the people who are supporting somebody who was legitimately and clearly not president, who was being run by, I mean, let's just call it Obama's 3rd term, and all the powers that be. But I knew, because of I mean, if you could imagine like seeing somebody or being somebody, well, you can, because you did it yourself. You fight for 4 years for what you know is right. What no one can tell you isn't right. All they are, by providing any contextual fact anyway. They can tell you emotionally that they don't think it's right, but they can't back up anything with reality or contextual fact. Fighting for 4 straight years against the absolute insanity daily. I mean, it affected me. I mean, my wife could tell you, like, I mean, it affected me. I was almost mad every single day, because it seemed like everything that my brothers sacrificed their lives for, everything that I spent time in the military. My grandfather was in World War II. My dad was in the Marines. My sister was in the Air Force. My brother was in the Army. We're all in the Army. Everything that we fought for and everything that we stood for, the oaths that we took for our country was being taken away. And when Trump got reelected, I tell you what, I mean, my kids being born, being married, nothing even compares on my music career, that even getting to stand on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry with Charlie Daniels, playing at Madison Square Garden, AT&T Stadium in front of 41,000. Those days the way that felt did not compare to the way I felt when Trump was reelected.
Did you think there was any chance, like 12 months before the election, were you like, there's a chance of this, or were you like, there's just no way, they're never going to let
I had no question. When you saw, the one thing that made me feel confident about this election was the amount of legal work that they were putting in the districts, in the voting districts.
Yes.
The amount of lawyers that they stuffed into. I mean, that was one of the most incredibly smart things that they did, because otherwise it wouldn't have happened that way, and we all know it.
Thank God. Yep.
And when you, if you want to know a liberal's tell, what are they screaming against? Just they have a tell when they're playing their cards. What are they screaming against? They're screaming against voter ID. They're screaming against, they're supporting illegal immigrants coming into this country. Those illegal immigrants getting voting rights or them saying they're not getting voting rights when there's evidence upon evidence that's showing that if you don't need an ID, what is there to prove? I mean, if you've got 10 people voting out of the same house, all those things were being stopped by the legal actions that Trump put into play. And that really was the thing for me. And when he brought his daughter on to take care of business, I mean, that is one smart cookie. I mean, that is one smart cookie. And she's ruthless when it comes to fighting for what she believes in. She's ruthless. And I think that team really set it up. But I'm watching the election. I'm watching. Plus, I mean, how could anybody? I mean, I was talking to even Democrat friends of mine that, which I don't understand how they could vote the way that they do, but I respect it. It's their perspective. When even they were saying like, "Oh my God, what did we just do?" And everybody trying to justify the fact that their voices and votes were being thrown in the garbage, and were thrown in the garbage. They were trying to justify it, but you could see the looks on their faces like, yeah, this isn't a cool thing. Like, I mean, everything that I supposedly stand for now, I flip-flopped on, which is typical of a liberal. But they couldn't justify it. I just saw, I mean, I felt that it was going to go, I mean, the election started, then when the numbers started rolling in, Kara went to bed and I stayed up, and I woke her up hooting and hollering and screaming at the television because I knew, I mean, you could just see the red all over the place. It was beautiful. Well, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the fact that this is now the third primary that they've rigged, and everyone talks about stolen election. You know what? I would just look at these reporters and say, are you actually going to tell me that Bernie Sanders wasn't completely bent over the table in 16 and 20? Because he was. And you're going to tell me that Kamala Harris was absolutely installed without a primary? That's rigging the election right there, you morons. And you're like, well, it couldn't happen in the general. We know they did it with mail-in ballots. We know they used emergency powers under COVID. We understand these things, but nobody wants to admit it. So let's talk about this. You've got the Epstein stuff. Now I've got multiple takes on this. You know me, I call balls and strikes. I think what Trump did the other day was stupid. I think him saying, "Oh, well, I ran on this. I promised you this. Why the hell are you asking me?" Go ahead.
Well, my perspective is a little bit different because that was taken out of that particular statement was taken out of context. Now, he doesn't always communicate the best, and we all know that. That's not what we hired him for. Mm-hmm. He says stupid shit, and we know that. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But if you take what he said in context, he said, we have so many of these incredible things, good and bad, the Texas floods, because that was primarily what they were there to talk about. Yep. We have all these Americans that just died, all these, we've got all these things going on in the Middle East, and you guys want to talk about Epstein, this scumbag. Now that was his context of it. The way he said it was not necessarily the best way of saying it. Now, but there are a lot of us, me included, that talked a lot about the Epstein files, that talked a lot about knowing that Clintons were on, and Bush, the paintings that they found in Epstein's house, and that all the people that were in. We knew. I watched the ABC documentary on the Epstein case. I don't know if you did or not, but ABC did that documentary on him, and ABC, and this was when they knew that he was going to run for election again. They had every opportunity in that, and plus, the leaks would have been there. Every opportunity to say that Trump was involved, that Trump was part of this. Right. And this is where there's some logic that has to be, exercised, because there are different excuses as to why they did it. One, is Trump involved in it? No. If he would have been involved in it, the Biden administration would have leaked that shit. Everybody knows it. And ABC would have pounced on it as well. But they said it. The investigator said that Trump was the only one that didn't lawyer up. He was the only one that cooperated with the investigation fully. He kicked Epstein out. They got records of it the moment that he found out that this stuff was going down. And there was one flight that he was on that didn't go to the island, but that was it as far as all the flight records are concerned. And ABC got to look at all that stuff ahead of time before all that stuff went down. But on a side note, I don't understand how a billionaire kills himself in his cell, and if he's innocent, first off,
with a paper rope.
With a paper rope, but also how he kills himself. I mean, they have video now. They released the video, but the thing is, you don't know whether that video has been doctored or not. We can do stuff with AI that makes people look like they're apes now and yetis, and they look like they're real. How do we? I mean, whatever.
There's no reason. There's really no reason to insult Whoopi Goldberg. She hasn't done anything on this show, and
you're right.
Calling her. No, I said Yeti. Yetis are white. So.
Oh yeah, the white Yeti. Yes.
Yes. There's not. Are there black Yetis? Isn't that called Bigfoot? I'm so confused. Listen, I don't know. Okay. So you're talking about Mark Straka. Well, hold on. Let's dissect this. Mark Straka, and it's not racist at all. We don't do that on this show. We are not politically correct. Everybody gets it. Everybody. Jew, Gentile, Catholic, white, black, green, gay, straight. We don't care. 2004, he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump did. Now, I want to go back to your comment about the video because I don't agree, but I do want to do the defending that you're defending with actual, with receipts. 2005 reported Epstein's behavior to authorities. 2005, talking 20 years ago. 2009, cooperated with Epstein's victim's lawyer. Signed executive order targeting human trafficking in the U.S. Went after Facebook and other messaging apps that were cloaking and people were using hidden messages in between Messenger and WhatsApp and others. 2019, he was arrested during Trump's presidency. FBI raid on Epstein Island in 2019, where we saw the videos of the confiscation of all of the files and the safes and the terabytes. We're talking hundreds of terabytes of floppy drives full of content. And half of that shit were blackmail videos or leverage on other people. They were labeled that way. And then released Epstein Files Phase 1, which is a complete abortion. And that's Pam Bondi, not Donald Trump. To go back to the video, yes, that's what he said. But here's the thing. It wasn't a press conference for Texas flood victims. It wasn't a conversation about Israel and Hamas. It was a board meeting, and it was an open forum. And your attorney general allowed a letter to be leaked to Axios, and that's your own fucking fault. So if you don't want the question asked, maybe you should rein in Pam Bondi, because this lady has been a literal soup sandwich, and she started. And I like the lady. I like her. I really do. She's beautiful and smart, but holy crap, how many mistakes can you make? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all on that. As far as asking that question and whatnot, I know that he was asked a bunch of questions about the Texas flood and different things like that ahead of time. Yeah. And I think that's what I don't think he answered a question to try and cover anything up. But what I do think that I mean, that's just my opinion. But I mean, yeah, Pam Bondi, she's had some missteps on what she should have said or shouldn't have said. And once again, if your mouth can't write, if your mouth can't cash the check, don't write it.
Right.
In other words, keep your mouth shut. And there've been a lot of times where she has opened up her mouth and said things. The difference between what Trump, when he opens up his mouth, he can cash the check. Yeah. She's opened up her mouth several times and not been able to cash the check. And, maybe she needs to be, put a muzzle on her so that she's not speaking so much to the press and refers it to somebody else or whatever it may be. And she may be I'm sure she's an incredible attorney and an incredible lawyer at, in doing what she does, but she may not be great at the public speaking thing as good as she should be.
She's had a lot of practice though, Ryan. She's been on Fox News every freaking day for like the last 120 days, right? I mean, she's always on Fox.
Yeah, and quite honestly, she's not as polished as a press person or whatever. And
yeah,
but she does need to. I think that she's saying the wrong things. But the thing for me is this: there are a lot of theories out there saying that the deep state destroyed a lot of that because of the intelligence community being potentially the center of it all, protecting the intelligence community. There are a lot of theories that are going out there, but if I could say something that may piss a lot of people off, but
sure,
I'm going to say
we like that. We like that.
Here's something that I can't stand about conservatives.
Sure.
Being a fellow conservative is something I can't stand about conservatives. In a lot of circumstances, when it comes to our own, it's all or nothing. It's either you do everything that we like,
Oh yeah.
or we're not.
Oh yeah.
Or we're not going to support you.
Right.
If you do something that we don't like, all of a sudden, we don't support Trump anymore. It's like Trump has and this is nobody can refute this. Pretty much everything that he's run on, he's doing, and it's only been how many months?
120
he's
days.
either done it or is doing it, and it's only been how many months? He's got 4 years. Stupid mistakes like Pam Bondi opening up her mouth and saying the wrong thing about the list being on her desk and that they're reviewing it, and Trump making promises, to release the Epstein files and those things. He, as the president of the United States, doesn't have discretion as to which of those files are going to be released or not. We know this. Having said that, should he, not knowing if he was going to be able to make that happen, say that he was going to make it happen?
But he didn't say it though, Ryan. Fair? He said, we'll take a look at it. That's the one.
You're right.
He said JFK, RFK, yes.
I take it back. I meant to say she should.
She did, yeah.
No.
And that's who I'm going after.
So now we have these unreasonable expectations, and all of a sudden Trump's a piece of shit because
I disagree.
The Epstein files are out, but we've got Iran, we've got Israel, we've got the border, we've got gas prices are freaking awesome. I mean, I'm paying $2.50 for gas here in Tennessee. I mean, when we're averaging, close to $3.50 for 4 straight years, everything that we wanted, we put him in office for. He's delivering on the things that and the thing is, if you watch what he's doing, he's battling against
federal judges,
district judges,
district
every
judges,
single turn. So I mean, there's just a ton of things that in this regard. So as far as to finish out that statement about conservatives, folks. I mean, I'm sure most people feel the same way that I do. If I sit back and look at the pros and cons of what's happened so far in the Trump presidency, he's knocking it out of the fucking park.
Oh, 100%.
He's knocking it out of the park. This Epstein thing is a glitch, and it's stupid. And what I would like for them to say is, all right, this is what happened. We made the mistake. Shouldn't have said what we were supposed to do.
Right.
And then it'll just blow over.
That's it.
Then it'll blow over. It'll be gone. It'll be gone tomorrow. Nobody will care. But he answered inappropriately during this press conference. Could have said what he said better. But all in all, I hate this word, but I think it's going to turn into a nothing burger regardless. If he continues driving forward, with 90% of everything, 95% of everything that we've asked for, should they just let it all out? I would say so, yes. But being a military intelligence guy, previous military intelligence guy, if the intel community is involved in that and it exposes the capabilities of our intel community, or the fact that, have you guys watched, sorry, I'm rambling here. Have you guys watched, there's a new stupid movie that just came, I just watched it last night with John Cena and who's the British actor, Head of State.
Haven't seen it.
Watch it. It just came out. It's out there. And they actually put a lot of stuff in that movie that's happening right now. But one of the things that they found out was one of the things, although it's a comedy and an action, whatever, it got 4 stars. It wasn't great. It was probably Idris
Elba. John Cena. It's decent.
It was Idris Elba in there as well. Now
that increases the stock. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it should have. Yeah. But anyway, one of the things that they're talking about is they have intelligence operations that are happening in conjunction with multiple NATO countries, and all of these things that are happening behind the scenes in the intel community that nobody knows is going on. Essentially, espionage, counter-espionage, economic espionage, industrial, all that stuff, industrial espionage. All these things are happening in NATO, and amongst NATO countries, and then it all gets exposed. And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to break up NATO, which wouldn't suck anyway. But they want to break up NATO because all the countries feel like they've, been bamboozled. If it's going to protect the intel community is going to protect it. I mean, if it's going to damage the intel community, which could be detrimental to the United States on a national security level, who knows? So I always like to play the devil's advocate in it. But bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, as an American taxpayer, none of this shit has any effect on me. My day-to-day life, it does not have any effect on me as far as I see it. So
Okay.
am I voting for the things that do have an effect on me, my family, and generations down the line? Have we always had the intel community doing shit behind the scenes that we never knew about?
Sure.
I mean, we can, and are they going to continue doing it? Absolutely, they're going to continue doing it. And what would you call it? The clarity of it, or putting it out to the public. I mean, half the people believe that Biden wasn't freaking cognitively declined.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, listen,
Anyway.
I agree with everything. Everything you said was lucid, to the point, and absolutely correct. Except for the intel piece. You can redact a human intelligence source or any int source that you want, as long as it goes through the proper channels of redaction. So,
right.
So as a former intelligence guy myself, you have to make that a necessary priority. But when you say, as much anti-Semitism is going on right now, that it's a risk to national security, people want to go, why is a pedophile who blackmailed people and had his own island, and Bill Clinton was there, and many other people that are alleged to be there, would that be a part of national security? And I think the implications are there that this is the best choice to move on from this. My point being is that this could have been handled much better, because you ran on this.
Without question.
You promised this, and then you belittled people when they asked. Not a good choice. Not a good choice. Here's Pam Bondi. Watch this video, and then we're gonna move on and get some stuff that we can all get into. But this is an interesting one, because this is the day. Okay, so you have the day that the memo's linked to Axios, which fuck Axios, but it's released by Axios. Then Pam Bondi makes the board where Donald Trump hands it to her and punts her the football, and she just completely just barfs all over the football. And now she is talking about this, and I just want to get your perspective. Olivia, I want yours. Ryan, I want yours. That's why you're here. Listen.
Over the past several weeks, the Department of Education has notified the Department of Education in California, as well as the California Interscholastic Federation, that they were in violation of Title IX. They were allowing men to compete in women's sports. Now, this is after years of their being in violation of Title IX. We informed them that if they did not change, that we were going to refer these cases to the Department of Justice, and we have done exactly that.
Thank you, Secretary McMahon, for all of your hard work. And today, the Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against California Department of Education and the governing body for women's sports in California. We've made it very clear, only women in women's sports under Title IX. An example in California, a boy who was in track and field. He would have lost every race. Yet in women's sports, he won over 36 medals. Those medals should be returned to the women, as well as no boys will be allowed in women's locker rooms. No longer. We have sued Maine. We're in litigation with Minnesota. We've sent multiple letters. And if you do not comply, you're next. The Department of Education and the Department of Justice, we will protect girls in girls' sports.
All right. Very, very, very convincing. Very resolute in her presentation. Does anybody have an opinion on that? Liv, your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, it's a great cause because I'm 100% behind it, but I've noticed she likes to do these videos. She's put out a couple of them, like talking about who she's going to sue and who the Department of Justice is going to go after, and you better comply or this is going to happen, blah, 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 blah. I've never seen any other AG do this in the past. So she definitely likes to be in front of the camera, for sure. I've seen more.
We wrote her a good script.
Yeah. I mean,
see, there you go. That's Ryan. Now you're on it.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know who the AG was under Biden's presidency. So the fact that we all pretty much know her on a personal level.
Well, that's because they didn't do their job. So that's a really good point. Now I want you to tie this in here, and this.
I keep thinking.
I think this puts a nice, beautiful bow on this. That the Trump administration is moving on from Epstein and have said, we're moving on. Here's what we want you to focus on now, because here is what happened. Literally, this is all within the 72 hours. And I think this needs to happen. But the question is, after this, do you believe that Brennan and Comey and Tapper and Strzok and Page and the Russian collusion people and Fisk are actually going to be held accountable? Listen to this, and then we'll have a conversation about it.
I keep thinking, okay, this is the authoritarian playbook. We've seen this play out so many times, and unfortunately, I think we're seeing it play out. And a number of academics and writers have pointed out, and Carl Schmitt, who was a German jurist, political philosopher and writer in the 1930s, his thesis, which Nazi Germany basically took up, was don't worry about doing something that is ethical or principled or good or right. Do whatever you can to win, vanquish your adversaries, vanquish your enemies. And unfortunately, we have seen that happening overseas. We've seen it in Viktor Orban in Hungary. We've seen it with Vladimir Putin. We see it in China, other places. We see it also in terms of, some of the foreign policies that are being implemented, including, in the Middle East right now. So I really am very worried that what we're seeing now in this chapter of American history is a sad deterioration of, I think, the respect for the rule of law and for our system of government. And
you've got to be shitting me. I mean, the guy who
we
literally
just lived through 4 years of that shit.
You fucking put spies in illegal wiretaps and tried to set them up with P-tapes, and you have the balls to even have Gestapo and Mein Kampf in the same sentence and directed at Trump. Go ahead, Ryan. Go.
That sounds like somebody that's sitting with their back to the corner swinging.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he's scurrying for the dark.
That's really what it is. A guilty man sitting there with his back to the corner swinging.
Yep.
That's what it boils down to. I mean, we got to watch. I mean, it takes something fake to do a fake document to start an impeachment. You have law enforcement officers that know it's fake. The head of the FBI that knows it's fake. You have the intelligence community that's on board with it, with lying to people about the Hunter laptop. I mean, every single thing that he was just talking about, the authoritarian dictatorships, all the things that are going, they did it. And and the thing is, they did it with no, like, they did it in public. Right. There was no, like, hey, I'm not going to tell you I didn't do it. I'm just going to do it. And then, I'll just watch it happen and see what everybody has to say about it. And then here's the crazy thing. Everybody in the United States knew that everything that they were doing was fake. We were sitting there watching every single thing they were either covering up or saying or testifying about. And then, of course, the whole red thing behind him. Yeah, I mean, we watched that too. But I'm just saying, we watched it all happen. And the crazy thing to me is this. I think it was a huge experiment to see just how stupid people are. Because I got the definitions of dumb. Dumb, you're just not smart enough to comprehend something. Ignorant, you don't have the information. Stupid, you've got the information. You're smart enough to comprehend it, but you're stupid enough to look at the truth and say it's false.
Right.
That's stupidity.
Yeah.
My brother always gave us 3 strikes. He told us to do something, gave us the 2-strike rule. Told us not to do something twice. If we wanted to do it the 3rd time, go ahead and let it happen. And I cannot understand how people can listen to somebody like that, know what happened, and still think that Trump's the problem. I don't get it.
But listen, it's far cry. Liv, do we have any hope that here's my problem, is that I think most people felt that something was going to happen with the political lawfare between January 6th, between the Hunter Biden laptop, the smuggling of dollars, the Burisma bullshit, the P-tapes, the FISA warrants. We felt something was good. The COVID. I mean, for COVID, how about J6? How many FBI agents were there in the field that day? All these things we have questions on. I thought something would drop by now. And everyone's like, be patient, trust the plan. No, I'm sick of trusting the plan.
That's what they said in 2020.
Right. They said that in 2020. We said that in 2016. Now we're sitting here and I've got to watch videos like this. Listen, if you guys remember this, here is Trump's inauguration. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Just this lech. Look at the smile, man. The devil just comes in and shakes his hand, and he hated him, and he was already plotting to overthrow Trump's presidency, a soft coup. And we're going to sit here. Do we believe that anything's going to happen to Brennan? That anything's going to happen to Comey? Does anyone really buy it? Livia?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't know. Obviously I have hope, but once again, one thing about a lot of conservatives is we're extremely impatient. And you know why? Because we have the microwave president. He works quickly to get things done on a day-to-day basis, and the speed at which he's getting things done in this presidency, because he has nothing to lose, but the speed at which he's getting things done on a massive scale is so much faster than we've ever seen any president in our lifetimes working. We haven't seen a president that has worked this quickly to get these things done.
No.
And so we have come to the expectation of it being done now. But once again, he has 4 years to accomplish, what he needs. And let's talk about the political side of it. This first 6 months and everything that's happened. What was that?
I'm prepping the next video, so I've got to do the job of 15 people. So I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I had something happen on my phone.
No.
Folks are not going to necessarily remember what has happened in the first year of his presidency, but they are definitely going to remember what happens in the last 6 months of his presidency.
Sure.
So, there's no telling if politically he's saving some freaking home runs, to the end. I don't know. But then is it going to be like, well, it took him too long to get this done, but we got to be satisfied with the fact that he got it done? Or does he get all of this stuff done right now, and then there's nothing monstrous that's going to happen at the end that we wanted to have happen?
Yeah.
And then are we going to get complacent, and getting out there? Oh, well, everything, because comfort doesn't comfort doesn't build diamonds. When if we get comfortable in everything that's happening right now, are we going to become complacent voters? And I don't know. Do I actually think anything's going to happen? I can't say yes or no. And that's really because he's proven that he's capable. What has he done in the past other than what he had to fight against Congress the entire time to get done? What has he done in the past or to make us believe he won't get it accomplished?
So that's
unless he's.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
No, I'll let you pull it up. That's it.
So here's my point, and it's a great point that you made. First of all, patience. I think patience is a good thing. We preach it a lot on the show. Everyone, we don't have all the inside information. Let's not jump to conclusions. But I've been watching this shit since Ollie North, so my patience level is at an end. I was there for Clarence Thomas, and I remember what they did to him. I watched it live, and this is me too. I've been doing this shit for 40 years. I may have just recently had a podcast, but I've been in the political fray for 40 years, and I will tell you, I'm sick of waiting. It's time for an arrest, and it's time for you to stop talking about all the corruption and the swamp and focus on just continuing to push forward with policy and making changes better for America and global and national politics. Because it's nice, but the drama sucks. It just sucks. And when you hear about it, you hear about Epstein and you go, dude, where's law? Where is the law and order? I don't care about Epstein. I don't give a flying shit about the list. I want the people who fucked kids to be held accountable. Every one of them.
1,000%. 1,000%. I agree. I tried to get that whole human trafficking short film done. I'm sure you remember all that.
I do.
So yeah. I'm extremely passionate about that myself.
You are.
I definitely want to say that. I guess I had something in my head and it just freaking disappeared. But all right, we'll move on. Move on to the next one.
Here's what you were talking about, right? It's people who, like, the one thing I supported. Everyone knows how I felt about J6. Everyone knows how I felt about stolen election. Everyone knows how I felt about the vaccine. I've been critical of Trump when he needs, and that's our job. We're patriots. We're not sheep. We're not bootlickers.
Between us and other people.
That's right. We will question when he deserves to be questioned. But this shit, first of all, there are some things here. Olivia, see if you can spot them of why this guy's not a Trump supporter. Here it is.
I do not support Trump. This is all going in the trash. I do not support Trump anymore. He's a liar. He's a part of the deep state. I do not support Israel.
I will not be supporting him anymore.
He's part of the deep state. He's
the shirt he's wearing
as we
first.
speak.
Yep.
It's real.
Wait till you see the hair.
And
His man
His
bun.
man bun.
we all need to start waking up.
He's definitely not a conservative.
First of all, that is way too clean for a MAGA hat. Number
Yeah.
one. I mean, does anyone actually believe that that's a Trump supporter?
No.
Not in a million years. I don't think anything's going to happen to any of them because nothing happened to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is the worst of all of them, and what she did,
It's
and
pretty bad.
she didn't even get a slap on the wrist. So I don't have any hope.
She got
that-
$310 million is what she got.
I have no hope that any of them are going to be held accountable. So let's just move on, stop talking about it, and get some other shit done.
I'm not okay
Can't
with
disagree
that.
with her.
But that's what we just said. It's like, let's leave the drama to the liberals. Let them do this. Let them have the 20%. We'll take the 80%. Yes, Epstein, fucking go after it, whatever. But stop talking about it, and we won't have expectations about it. Don't make promises. And then, like, when Trump said, well, mass deportations, we're going to deport 20 million people. Of course he's not going to be able to do that. We understand the logistics of that would be an absolute impossibility. People, you made a great point. You have to listen to Trump's intent, and that you don't always get that through his words, but you always get it through his actions. And with
Right.
what, go ahead.
It's like you get in a fight with somebody, they're going to sit there and scream and holler at you, but if they can't beat your ass, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you get somebody who's a big, loud, whatever it is, and then they get popped in the nose and start crying. I don't know. The one thing that I definitely learned on Trump is that I just appreciate, bottom line is this. We wanted a president who was going to take action and do what we wanted, that would do what America needed to put America first and to put Americans first and to put money back in our bank accounts and you name it. And he's doing that. He's doing exactly. And so some stupid Epstein, and I don't say stupid. Obviously, there is value in that. But
we know.
You get what I'm saying.
We do.
But something like this should not be a headline topic for everybody right now.
It's like
So
Hunter Biden when
it's
Ryan, let me jump in. It's like fucking Hunter Biden. Everybody's like, go after Hunter Biden, get the laptop. And Biden is dissecting the country a piece at a fucking time. And people are worried about Hunter Biden. I'm like, this isn't the plot, folks. That you're
Why
missing.
aren't we focused on the border? Why aren't we focused on
right.
I mean, you name it. I mean, it's like that. I don't know if you probably noticed on my social media stuff, I stayed out of the Hunter Biden shit.
You did.
Because quite honestly, nobody knew what the truth was and nobody knew what the lies were at the time. And I don't like putting anything on my social media pages that I can't verify. The one thing that was verifiable was the fact that we had an invasion coming through our southern border.
Right.
And that I knew because of the number of people that hate our country, I mean, folks are talking about, oh, we've never had an invasion on American soil other than, the Pearl Harbor, like legit invasion. Well, we just had one. And nobody, conservatives gave a shit about it. So I'm like, well, why are we focused on a laptop of him smoking crack and doing all this kind of stuff? Yeah, could it have, influenced the election? It absolutely could have, but they took him off the card anyway. I mean, so really at that point, then it's all a moot point. It doesn't matter if it could have influenced the election. I don't give a shit.
The only guy who could beat Trump, only guy who can beat Trump to holy fuck, let's perform a coup. So overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Kamala, you don't know who she is. You've never seen her before. This is your vice president. And she's now going to be the front runner. Here's $1.7 billion. And everyone's like, what the fuck just happened? So, listen,
and nobody gave a shit.
Right.
We gave a shit.
Well, we did because we always give a shit, but nobody is saying let this go. You guys know me. I am law and order. I am all about it. But my point is, if it's going to be behind the scenes, then tell them this. None of you are going to have an update for at least 48 months. And shut up about it. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about Epstein. Don't release, don't leak any memos because people already don't trust you. And silence breeds opportunity for conspiracy theory. So either put it in the light and talk about it all the time and give us updates or shut up about it. Those are the best two things you can do. I'm with you. It's a distraction. All right. So here's the other thing. Biden's doctor was called. Oh, by the way, people are worried about donations. Don't worry. Everyone's holding donations until we're done, because I don't want Ryan or any guest to feel that we brought them on to make money. That's not my goal. I want them on so we have a good show and I get to catch up with friends.
Make money off me. I don't give a shit.
All right, folks, give your donations right now. Go. No, I'm kidding. So
a lot of them have notes for Ryan. So,
well, then we'll put him in at the end, or read the notes off, because he deserves to hear those things. This is
Good, better,
Biden's.
and different. I don't care.
Well, we love you, buddy. This is Biden's doctor. He was sworn to testify. And this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the investigation into, was like Ronald Reagan, and whether you guys know this, Ronald Reagan, there was a period of time where no one was running the country for over an hour. So for over 63 minutes, the United States did not have a head of state, did not have a president, because he was incapacitated. So you guys got to understand, this is a big thing. And if Joe Biden had Alzheimer's, well, then essentially someone wasn't running the country for 4 years. If he was having dementia, if he was having problems. So this doctor is sworn in a non-criminal hearing. This isn't criminal. This is civil. This is just a civil investigation. This is the beginning. This is GOP oversight. He can say whatever he wants here, and it's inadmissible in court. It's just like him going on a talk show and saying this. It doesn't matter. And this is what he does. This is going to blow this is going to piss Ryan off. Watch this.
Dr. O'Connor, before we begin, I would like to go over the ground rules for this deposition. The committee will conduct today's deposition in accordance with the House of Representatives regulations for the use of deposition authority, which were furnished to your counsel. This regulation is incorporated into the rules of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform at Rule 15, which was also furnished to your counsel. The questioning will proceed in rounds. The majority will ask questions for an hour, and then the minority will have an opportunity to ask questions for an hour if they choose. There will be one staff counsel per side asking the questions during each round. To the extent members have questions for the witness, they will be propounded during their side's respective rounds. Do you understand?
On the advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. I am not a lawyer, and I must follow my lawyer's advice in this matter.
So, gentlemen, we intend to assert both privileges with regard to any questions that would be asked at this deposition. And Dr. O'Connor will not answer any questions.
Can we go off the record for 1 second?
This is a deposition. This is a fact-finding mission. These things happen all the time. They happen in divorces. They happen in any type of major legal ease, whether it be civil or criminal. Depositions happen all the time. I've given like 20 of them. You give depositions in unemployment claims. And when they would try to sue our company, I would do depositions. These things, or affidavits, these things are very, very common. The fact that he pled the Fifth in a non-criminal proceeding, what does that tell you? Liv, you first. You've been very quiet and just listening to Ryan and I go off. I want to get your opinion, and then I want Ryan.
Well, first, he must have the same lawyers that Hillary Clinton's company that she hired to bleach her computers had.
Yes.
They did the exact same thing
They sure
in
did,
theirs, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, I am guilty 100%. 100% I'm guilty. I'm just wondering how much money he got paid to lie like that to the American people, because he had to have gotten a substantial amount of money.
Well, he didn't lie,
to do
right? He didn't lie because everything he says is under doctor-client privilege, is what he's saying.
It is. Well, for him to, yeah. I think he was paid off very much.
Well, doesn't the Hippocratic Oath here take effect? Is that you shall do no harm? Well, isn't lying about the health of the safety of the President of the United States, doesn't that do a lot of harm?
It did a lot of harm to the country.
I don't know. I mean, can you make that argument? Ryan, what do you think?
Well, he's got a great lawyer. I mean, regardless, he's doing, it's genius to do that for himself, because even though it's a deposition, if he admits to anything, it can still be used against him in court down the line as an admission, wouldn't you say? But secondly, I mean, I got to be honest with you, what are they deposing this guy for? You don't think they have 4 years of emails and communications on cell phones between staff members that they could use as evidence to just say, yes, it's been covered up, and then clearly find this guy guilty by using evidence against him without him having to admit that he actually did anything? I mean, because criminals are never going to sit unless they're going for a plea deal. They're not going to admit that they're guilty of anything anyway. So dude, I don't know, man. The one thing that I got sick of, I really got sick of, especially with the Hillary Clinton, that was one of them, that her testimony. How is it that it was Steve Bannon that got thrown in jail for lying to Congress?
Yeah. He didn't sit for a subpoena. That's why he didn't sit for a subpoena, and
he turned down even going. So Hunter Biden could do it.
Yeah. That's right.
Where are the teeth? Where are the teeth in all of this? That's where I would have to agree with you, Olivia, that it's like we're just sitting here wasting taxpayer dollars doing these kind of depositions and stuff when it's not going to do shit.
That's
right. What about real investigations where you're going through the communications of White House staff, where you're going through, emails sent back and forth? You're telling me that they didn't say at least 1,000 times during those 4 years that, okay, we know this guy's his brain is noodles, whatever it may be, and then you're saying that when it comes to presidential, the 25th Amendment, that patient-client privilege, like doctors, how is it that they can't subpoena?
That's right.
His medical records.
That's
You're
right.
saying that you can't. So why are they even talking? It's just a waste of time, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
the guy,
it is.
Straight up. The dude can admit to guilt on there, and obviously he can be charged, and then they could take him to court and throw him into jail for whatever it may be if they decide that they want to file some sort of charges against him. But I just think it's a waste of time and money to do this kind of stuff, and it's grandstanding, like you said, getting out in front of the video, the video camera that Pam Bondi likes to do, and say that we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do all that. Well, how is it that, what was his name? Who's the white-haired guy that was in the head of the committee for Hillary? I really liked the guy up until that.
Oh God.
It was Congressman.
Was Lindsey Graham?
No. The one in Tor. He's got a real. He's always a lawyer.
Trey Gowdy.
Yes, Trey Gowdy. I was like, man, Trey Gowdy, he's killing it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that guy should run for president. He could speak eloquently. He sounds like a bulldog. And then he did that with Hillary, and it's like you have all this evidence, and she's lying to you, right? And nothing happens. That blew my respect for him in that regard. And the same thing is happening on this. It's like I feel like they're just spinning their wheels. And also, one more thing.
Yeah.
What does it matter? How is this affecting the everyday American right now? It's not. I mean, we've already had our country destroyed the last 4 years. Finding out everything that we already knew,
right?
It was true that they had to have covered it up, because you can't sit there and watch. I had family members that died of dementia and Alzheimer's. I got to watch them do the exact same thing. And the thing is, Biden was. I mean, he's along that path. If you know what I'm saying. He's near the end of it.
Yeah.
And because I got to watch it happen, and whether we find out whether the doctor lied or not, we know he lied. I mean, so why not just get evidence instead of wasting taxpayer dollars and asking this dude if he lied or not?
Well,
I don't know.
This is for GOP clicks and hits. And by the way, this is a civil
grandstanding.
You guys, he could go up there and say that I murdered someone for the president, and you cannot criminally charge him in a civil deposition. It's not a criminal. So he can say anything he wants, and it's inadmissible in court. I can tell you how I know this.
Then what is the point of doing this?
Because it's a deposition that is non-criminal at this point, because they want to depose him to get him up there and get it on the record.
So if he actually admits that if he did something unlawful, they can't use that testimony later on in court?
Absolutely not. Not in a civil deposition.
Really?
Yep, it's not a criminal deposition.
I think just the Hippocratic Oath should not be applied to the president's doctor, and just for the president.
Well, what if he has? Let me ask you this: what if he's suicidal? should the doctor not be able to go and release that information? What if he has cancer? What if he is showing, borderline schizophrenia? This guy's got the fucking football, and we're not going to sit here. Sorry for the language, but we're not going to sit here and realize that the public, he is a representative of the states and the governors of this country, and therefore should be held to a different set of standards.
They should be.
So
I agree with Ryan, because my grandmother died of dementia, and I said it during the 2020 election run. I saw it, and I saw his health decline, and I'm like, he has got dementia or something before he even got elected, and I knew it. But I mean, anyone who is like you, Ryan, anyone who has a family member and has had seen that family member go through dementia, you know the signs, and you see the signs, and Biden is way out there.
Oh,
this is not just something that just happened. It's been happening long before he ran for president, and it started long before then, and he is on like the tail end of this. Like, my grandmother was so far gone at the end that my aunt and uncle are twins. They had to give her twin baby dolls, and that was the only thing that made her happy, was to be able to take care of these baby dolls at the end. So I mean, he's far out there. Yeah, he's
it's a delicious ice cream. Here's what it comes down to. So if you say something on the media, there's actual laws, and let me explain why this happens. So it's in the actual Constitution of the United States that there are, I think it's in Article 2, is that there's several laws that protects the Senate, Congress, or any representative in government that is publicly front-facing, can pretty much say anything they want in the parameters of their job without being held accountable.
Yeah, like attack law enforcement, those kind of things.
Yep, exactly. So in the purview of their role, they can't be sued for something that they say. So Hillary Clinton many times admitted to the video and saying that was a video that fired off in Benghazi. But once she was under testimony, she simply said, I don't recollect, or that was taken out of context. And it can't be used against her unless she was criminally deposed or under an affidavit. So everything that she did civilly, or any of the congressional hearings that were behind closed doors, none of that mattered. This happened with Ollie North. This has happened all over when it comes to them, because they hide behind the clause. We've done a show on it before. It comes down to this. This is a fact-finding mission. This is for clicks, and this is to show that the GOP is doing something to basically throw the proverbial red meat at the base. And honestly, I agree with everybody here. Just charge him with a crime, and we'll find it out in discovery, and we'll find it out during the hearings. Otherwise,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like just a big waste of money and time. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think Matt needs a swear jar. Olivia could be rich.
Did you see my comment?
She cusses
no.
more
Watch
than...
my comment.
All right.
I said it actually might be the other way around. I watch my P's and Q's while on the show. Trust me, I've got the mouth of a sailor when I'm off the show.
Olivia, and I just got Ryan in here. That's why usually I'm not cussing. Olivia and Amy cuss more than me, but tonight it's just he's in the room, so I'm going to blame him. All right, so
blame it all on Ryan.
So floods are going all over the country. Texas, we saw what happened at Camp Mystic. It was heart just wrenching and absolutely just horrible. Of course, they're trying to blame Trump for this because, flash floods, because everyone knows when those are coming, and President Trump should know better or something. But I thought about the pilots, and Scott Ruskin was a search and recovery. So I don't know, was he SAR or was he rescue?
I think he was
He's
both.
a rescue swimmer.
Yeah, rescue swimmer. So amazing human being, and 165 lives were saved. I've got a video, not of Mystic. We've seen Mystic. I'm showing you what happened in New Mexico. This is in Rio Doso.
I heard about this today.
I used to have a store in Rio Doso. Sorry. Yeah, I used to have a store in Rio Doso. I don't know the exact area, but I want you to understand the power of this. And then I want Ryan to give some perspective from flying in that type of weather, having a chopper, rappelling down, being in roto wash, the whole feel of it and how intense that must be. Watch the power of these floods and how quickly it is on top of you. It truly is terrifying. Watch this. Folks, those are trees. Is that not insane?
This flood in Ruidoso picked up a house and moved it 20 feet.
No, it moved longer than 20 feet. It went all the way. It went all the way down the channel.
Killed the entire family that was in it, but so there was 4 of them. But yeah, it moved. It picked up a house and moved it. It's just
we saw a lot of floating houses and stuff in the floods in Texas as well. I mean, it's in North Carolina. Like I drove through North Carolina after the floods. Oh, you can go ahead. Yeah, there's one floating down the road.
No, you talk. I muted it up. Go ahead.
Well, I saw the aftermath several months after the floods in North Carolina, and you know, if anybody hasn't been in those kind of areas after it happened, I mean, I've seen it when it happened down, you know, here in Nashville, up in Kansas when I was stationed up there. We had a pretty big flood up there, but just don't realize the massive destruction that happened in North Carolina. I mean, my brother has a house in Lake Lure, which is where the putting green scene happened in Dirty Dancing. He lives on that. He has an Airbnb on that golf course. But we were up there a few months before that flood happened, and I believe was it Rolling Rock? I think is what it was, or Red Rock. I think it's Rolling Rock. Anyway, it bears on a restaurant right there on the riverbank, and I think they were 20, 30 feet up from the riverbank, and that town was covered in 20 feet of mud. Everything was gone when it was 20 feet up from the riverbank, and seeing a car look like that's kind of, you know, it's just incredible, the force of water and obviously nature. And I mean, there's so many people out there talking about, you know, cloud seeding and use of radar systems as well. I don't know if anybody follows that page with a girl. All she does is radar activated weather.
Yep.
And she's incredibly intelligent on what she talks about, and she really knows her stuff. Something to look at. If you, I don't know her social media page, but I've watched several of her posts, and she talked about how the storm stayed in one place, and then looked at the radar signatures from around it and how those can control where the weather goes, along with the cloud seeding on top of that. Somebody was talking about the difference in between the last 2 floods that happened there and the amount of rainfall that they got over a short period of time, and the amount of rainfall they got in a short period of time here. And there was a significant less amount of rainfall in the amount of time that caused a significantly greater flood this time, which was also interesting when they did the amount of rise in time frame, amount of devastation, and the amount of rain that came in the amount of time. Somebody talked about all that, and there's so many things out there. But I mean, it's just easy. I mean, all you got to do is blame Trump, and you know, you're right. I mean, he caused the floods. He killed all those people.
He meant to do it.
I'm so freaking tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
But it's not a small fringe. Everyone's like, oh, that's just 2% of the people. No, dude. Like we are in the social media.
So over it.
We are in the social media sphere. It's hundreds of thousands of people who feed this shit. And I'm just like, and listen, cloud seeding and all this, we went through Harvey. Olivia and I went through monsoons in 3 different states. Sometimes storms, they're unpredictable.
In New Mexico, the winds blew over our barbecue several times with a full propane tank. Just
right, and it took it and flew it 150 yards down the frickin' in the next day. Shit happens.
And I mean, you look at the past. I mean, the past on everything, and you know, history repeats itself. I mean, the large hurricanes, massive hurricanes that killed hundreds of thousands of people, you name it, have happened since the dawn of time. And you know, we just I think that everybody's just looking for something to be excited about, and I just try to stay away from a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I do like to be informed, and I do like to learn things about how different things work. Some things you take with a grain of salt, and some things you take seriously. But getting back to the rescue diver, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the cool thing about a lot of what he did was on the ground. He actually went on the ground, and because he told his story on 48 Hours on ABC. My wife watches ABC. I like to watch the alternate news networks to see what our enemy's talking about.
Yeah, me too.
But I like to see both perspectives. When I'm in the gym, I'm watching CNN just as much as I'm watching every other channel that's on there, because I know exactly what the enemy's thinking. But he told a story, and essentially most of what he did was on the ground. There were a ton of Camp Mystic folks that were there. He did a lot of stuff in the water as well. I've fortunately have never had to drive or fly through a thunderstorm or anything like that. Generally speaking, helicopters, we try to avoid that. But the Coast Guard and these rescue folks, like, these guys are the best of the best. I mean, controlling yourself, controlling your aircraft when you're having severe winds, because I have flown in severe winds, I have flown in dust storms, but controlling that aircraft and then being able to having somebody come off the bottom of it. I've done sling load operations, did them all in combat and for training. It's not an easy thing to do, and you've got some of the best pilots, in the world that are doing these things, and to have. I have an immense amount, a lot of, like, in between the military services, we have the joke about the Coast Guard, different jokes about Coast Guard
Right.
and whatnot. But the bottom line is they don't go out unless it's the crappiest conditions you're going to go out in.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, boats don't capsize, just capsize. They go out on high seas. They go out on crappy weather. They go out on missions that nobody would want to fly in. Like, it's no aviator wants to fly in those things, and they do it. Well, I mean, there's some that do, because they got some screw loose up in their head. But generally speaking, we want to fly in good conditions, and you can't say enough about the courage that they display, or that they displayed in that. But in every circumstance that they're going out there, and then you have civilian helicopters that are going out there and helping out as well.
Right.
They show the true spirit, the true American spirit, and I absolutely admire everything that those guys do. That kid, he deserves everything that's coming to him. I call him a kid because he's old enough to be my son.
Yeah.
He deserves everything that's coming to him, and what I appreciate about Trump being a president now is that we're finally getting to see who heroes are.
Yeah.
On liberal media. We're finally getting to praise the heroes out there, because this kid was on liberal media and they were praising him for his job. They're not being attacked. They're not being shunned. I think that is a Trump effect. Getting back to what we love about America and respecting our heroes out there. That's always been what I've done on my social media pages. It's never, we call the bad cops out if they're bad cops, whatever it may be, because we call people out on that stuff. But seeing that really brings, it fills up my heart, knowing that we've got amazing Americans out there doing the right thing.
It goes so fast. Dude, I appreciate your perspective, and thank you so much for tonight. I got you for your 2 hours, and I'm not going to hold you on any longer, but there is the ceremonial 1 minute that we always end with and give everybody a minute, hosts and everybody else. And I want to give you a last word. I don't have much. I'll save mine till after Ryan punches out. But Ryan, where can they find you? Where can they find your music? Where's your website? How do they follow you? And then please take a minute. And these people love to hear from you. You've got a ton of messages. And Olivia probably wants to read those off that were sent in with donations, and at least just read the messages to you if that's okay. But
yeah, it's great.
It's yours, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, it's my RyanWeaver.net is my website. Has all my social media stuff on there, some music videos. My Grit Gear Apparel shirts. I'm sorry, wrong side. Grit Gear Apparel shirts. Patch Operations fellow veteran-owned patch company. Patch
Love those
Operations.
guys. Love those guys.
Yep, supporting Liberty Home Concealment, lockable wooden safes. Those are all my brands. My name is on them. I use them. Obviously, I wear them. I have Liberty Home concealment safes on my walls. They're awesome, lockable wooden safes. Anyway, if you're supporting veteran-owned and small family-owned businesses with these companies, I only partner with small family-owned businesses now. I was once with 9 Line. You saw the picture at the beginning with those guys, and they moved away from partnerships, which is fine. They're a great company. But anyway, buying my music is awesome. Coming to my shows is even better. But buying my products will support both small family American-owned businesses. And if you have any questions, if you ever want to reach out to me on social media, let me know you saw me on the Dumb Show. It'd be great. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Like I said, I run my own social media pages. And you'll find it, even if you don't like me, if we sit down for a beer or a tequila or whatever, that I guarantee you that 95% of our conversation will get along and agree on pretty much everything.
Pretty easy to find common ground with rational people. Common sense is back, and I'm pretty excited about it. Now we just have to worry about the midterms, and let's just keep going, and hopefully we can move away from this crazy spin cycle that we're on. Liv, you have some comments I know you want to read off. Go ahead.
I will just read off the comments. I'll put in the donations in a minute. Mel Lowe says, God bless you, Ryan. Bobby Richardson, in memory of all the heroes we have lost, love you all. Got to go through them. Sandra Edwards says, thank you, gentlemen, for your service.
Welcome.
Frank Riley, seriously.
What does he say?
Great show. Hey, Ryan, have you seen Olivia's feet?
It's a running, just Ryan, just
joke.
move on. Just move on.
I painted my toes
That's not what
as an American flag.
That's not what they're talking about.
I have patriotic toes, but seriously.
Olivia's kind
I
of
actually have an American flag on my big toes as well.
There you go.
You're married. I've never met your wife, but I'm assuming that she's probably a very attractive lady. My wife is too, and my fans are knuckleheads. So leave my wife's feet alone.
There's a story behind that. If you message me, I'll tell you the story.
You got to give me your cell phone because we forgot to exchange that last time. So send it to me and I'll send you mine.
Angela Hill says, thanks for a great show. Was it? I am so blind. I hate getting old. Oh, come on, everyone. Even $5 helps. Sorry, Angela.
Sorry, guys. We weren't showing donations. That's why everyone's been awesome.
And then that is it with the messages.
And every great having you on. Thank you, Ryan. God bless you. What a great interview. Cool dude.
Let's put a show together, brother.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
do it.
Dude, I'm telling you, we've got to do it. So I'm gonna get to work on it and plan it. We did the 20K show. I didn't know all these people were gonna show up. Laura Logan, by the way, messaged me today. And just out of the blue and goes, oh, by the way, thanks for everything. Here's my cell phone. And I'm like, it just feels good that when you work your ass off and you take care of people and they reciprocate. Enjoyed the time here. Loretta says, thank you, Ryan. Thanks for a great interview, Ryan. It was riveting. Thank you, Ryan, says James Cody. Just go back. There's hundreds of people. We've actually wound up having over 300 and something on. So a lot of people had comments. So Ryan, thank you, brother. It's great to have you here, man. I can't wait for the next time, and we will get something going for a show. I think it would be awesome to do it, bro.
Absolutely. You guys be safe. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thanks for staying with us tonight, Bubba.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Ryan Weaver, everybody, one of the coolest dudes in the business. I love this guy. It's so good to connect with him again. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to stick around for a few. Mel Lowe donated $51.99. God bless Ryan. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to put them all in right now, guys.
Yeah.
Whenever we have guests, we always hold on donations because we don't want, we don't have the guests on to make money off of them.
No,
we have
never.
them for a good conversation. And so you guys can see people and everything. So we don't put the donations until the guests are off. So just so you guys know, that is the reason why none of them have gone in.
I'll tell you what, I'm really excited of the possibility of, sorry folks, that didn't mean to happen, but the possibility of Ryan and Still Point playing a show.
You know what I would love? I would love a show with Ryan and Tonto on at the same time.
Well, no, I that's great, of course.
Yeah.
Bobby Richardson, 103.48. Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate you, ma'am. It says, in memory of all the heroes we have lost, love you all. Thank you, ma'am. But to have them come into the Shenandoahs,
yes,
and the Blue Ridge and come in and play and rock the Valley.
Oh God, that
Dude,
would be
you would get,
awesome.
if Still Point and Ryan Weaver came together, that show would crush. That'd
Rock
probably be
the
the biggest thing to happen in this area in a long time. So we've got to find a way to make it happen. Ryan is such a good dude. Sandra Edwards donated 50. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service. Sandra, we love you. Thank you, sweetie. So yeah, folks, we're doing donations now because once again, we don't like to do it during the show. It just kind of feels weird. So we do it now. Yes, Ryan is writing a book. He's working on that right now, and it's co-authored. And as soon as he gets that, we'll obviously have him on the show, get an autographed book for him, and get it put up in the Hall of Fame there. But yeah, he's writing a book right now. And you know, when we were talking earlier, just to be candid, country music, he's like, listen, can't do country music forever. I don't know what that looks like, but a lot of shows that he's doing are getting booked for next year, which is good. Frank Riley, great show. Hey, Ryan, have you seen Olivia's Feet? Yep, I have, and I get to experience that later tonight, which is always good for me. And, you know, he's just, the one thing about Ryan is when I was writing his intro, it is just, he's a serious guy.
He doesn't seem
But well,
serious.
hold on a second. Let me finish that. 2110. Thanks for a great show. Come on, everyone. $5 will help. When I mean serious guy is when you first meet him, he's very stoic and he's very serious. But as you could see, we loosened up once he knew the rules, and we went back into the shorthand of joking around with each other, very much like Tonto. But he's so respectful, and that's what I mean. He's serious because he cares about his brand. He cares about how he represents himself. He cares about how he shows up. And he exudes this level of confidence that you can't deny. And I love listening to him, you know, and I didn't agree with everything he said tonight. I mean, we had our little, but it doesn't matter. The way he says it, it forces you to take a moment and really, truly listen to it. Lois Bentley gave 2110. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you so much. We're almost there to goal. That was quick. But yeah, he's just a good dude, and he went through so much, and losing two brothers. And if you listen to his music, Let's Talk About Heroes, it's just so powerful, and it's in our intro. And, I'm just glad you guys got to see him. I'm glad so many people were on tonight. And we did have a really good turnout. We still have quite a few people on. But do me a favor, go over to his website. Make sure you follow him on social media. We cross post stuff once in a while, and nobody needs to donate. You guys, please, I say this every show. You don't need to apologize if you can't donate. You never, ever need to apologize. Deirdre says, do you know which weekend in September you're planning? It's going to be closer to October, if not in October.
We want good weather. It's still pretty hot and humid in September here.
Yeah, so we're thinking October would be a really good time. It's going to cool down a little bit. It's not going to snow or anything. It just gets nice and, 70, 65 at night in October. It's beautiful. The mosquitoes die down. So and then John is going to be able to get his distillery up. And I know that we could probably get, 50 people there easily. And then around town, we'll probably bring in a couple hundred. But if you bring in Ryan Weaver and Still Point together, two veteran loving bands, and their music, can you imagine them doing a song together?
There's a big veteran community. I would love for them to write a song together, because Ryan is like hard rock country. He's like I love that song. It's on my list
Yeah, he's not soft. I mean, they play it well, and he's got great vocals, good range. And yeah, him and Brandon would be excellent together, because Brandon's got a really high, rock opera kind of voice, and they would do well together. So, are we done with donations?
That's it.
We're all caught up.
That's it.
Folks, if you have a chance and you like tonight's show, and we're going to be on for 3 more minutes, and if we hit it, great. If not,
we had a great show.
But what we want to do is we want to bring in Monk's Barbecue and do brisket and, potato salad and cornbread and all that. And then have whiskey there and beer, and sit out in the venue, and it's standing room. It's on the grass, and there's an amphitheater there, and just kick back and set up some volleyball nets and set up some cornhole and just relax and have a good time. We think it would be awesome. Anything else tonight, babe?
No.
Got to watch some 24 with brother.
Yes.
Hayden tonight went to a Broadway play, and she got to see.
I think Tom Felton or Fenton or whatever his name is there.
Yeah, Tom Fenton was
He played
Draco Malfoy in the first series. He's now Lucius Malfoy, the father, and I guess he was playing in. And it was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and Hayden said it was just incredible. Dumbtober or something. Yeah, listen, it doesn't matter. It's going to be awesome, and we've got to do it because it's going to take a lot to plan because we're busy. But the good news is we got the green room all painted, and it's ready to go. And we're just bringing in the bookcases and getting that thing set up. I picked up a vlogging camera, which I love doing these shows here, but people really want to kind of see us out moving around, walking and in the backyard and stuff. So I finally sprung on I was using a phone with a mic and a computer, and I'm like, screw this. So I got a DJI Pocket 3, and it's a very, 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 very high end and high quality camera with audio and video quality that you've come to expect. And that's going to help Olivia if she wants to go to Target and look at transgender bathing suits. She can do that.
Well, there's no longer a transgender
I know.
section at Target.
I was just kidding. But you know, if I want to go down and go and do some interviews or talk to people, I can do it too. And
take it to the diner. That'd be fun.
Well, the thing is that what we're thinking of? That was the weekend show I wanted to do. Is like a Sundays at Tammy's and go in and get a guest because there's so many interesting people. State Department, former war veterans. Bobby Richardson, love you all. $51.99 again.
Thank you,
Bobby.
man.
Thank you for helping us hit goal. But anyway, listen, we had a great show tonight. It was awesome. Chuck, I'm still working on getting the books and the shirt, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on, but trust me, I got your back. I got your books. They're ready to go. I want to get the design done for the bigger, better, faster, more shirt and make sure I finalize that. But we really would like to start doing an interview, local interviews at the diner. And we think that would just be great. And what I would talk to Tammy and see if she would let us stay open, or when it's a little slower in the afternoon. 2110, great show as always. Thank you, Ryan, for coming on. Weaver's such a good dude, man. I love the guy. He's just amazing. And I'm so glad you guys liked him.
It was fun. Like I said, I didn't get to meet him last time. So
yeah, he's just like Tonto. He's just the same cut. All right. We're back tomorrow. Who is it tomorrow, honey?
Should be you and Leroy again.
Leroy and I tomorrow. Chuck says I'll pick them up in person. That's fair because you've got your plaque, and then the cutout plaques are coming, and the coins are in the production. Megan's working on this. It takes a little bit longer because she's got to do the cast and send them out. So we're working on the coins. We're working on the plaques to get those signed for really our top 5-6 donators who've really done an amazing job. We were going to autograph the show plaque, and we're going to do the coins for the individual voters. So wanted to say, come here real quick, get on camera. All right, get on camera before you start talking. Just close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door. So Hayden just got home, and she's going to tell us all about this. Here, let's just go to this scene so we don't have to. Okay, get sat down. Pull up your dress and all that, and yes, thank you. Jeez Louise. All right. Hold on. Let me switch the scene. All right. So, okay, Haiti, what? Tell us all about it.
Oh my gosh, it was the funnest experience of my entire life. They picked me up at 10:45, Well, it was more like 10:30. But they picked me up, and then we picked Will up from football practice because he is on varsity football, so he has camp at like 5 a.m. in the morning. So we picked him up from that, and then we went home, or we went back to their house. He showered, got ready, and then we went to DC.
Maybe a little less detail.
Okay. We went to DC, and then we got like stuck because we didn't know the car's height. And it got like stuck in like a non-clearance area for the car because the car was like 7 feet and we went in a 6'5" area. So that was so much fun. And then we were 5 minutes late to the show because of that, but it was great. We got lost in DC too. That was so much fun. We showed up and then they didn't let us in until the show started, was like 15 minutes, but we were able to like watch it on like a TV in the meantime. And then we sat in random seats because we didn't know where we were supposed to sit. So we just sat in random seats and we sat in the very front.
Nice.
Like we got front row tickets. And then unfortunately, I got dates wrong. So it wasn't Tom Felton. Tom Felton starts November 11th.
Oh.
I thought he started June 11th.
Okay.
I got dates mixed up. But it was genuinely one of the best shows I've ever seen. They were flying in the air and the sets were so cool. And when they did the time turner, the stage moved and there was ripples. And the way it was is there were like lights on the shadows. And so when the time turner happened, like the lights moved and it looked like the stage was rippling. And it was the coolest thing ever. And then when they were doing wand fights, there was actual fire.
Oh, cool.
And it was like dyed fire. It was like green fire and red fire.
Oh, that's cool.
And the lights were so cool. And then the crowd was a part of the show too. Like, Hogwarts was above us and we could it was the coolest thing ever. And then the show ended and we got lost again in DC. And then we went to Tyson's Mall and we waited for Will's dad to get off of work and meet us at Tyson's Mall. So we walked around Tyson's Mall for like an hour and then his dad got off of work and met us at Tyson's Mall. And then we all went to dinner at this really, really fancy place. And it was like the nicest place I've ever eaten.
Your mom hates you. No, it's not the nicest
No.
place you've ever eaten.
No.
But no, no it's not.
Maggiano's.
It's
is where
Maggiano's
she
and your
went
mother's
today.
not happy with you because she loves
Did you bring me
Maggiano's.
home anything?
No, I didn't. But I got the chicken Alfredo and I got cheesecake and tiramisu. And it was so good. And then
Your mother's so mad at you right now. Look at her. Look at the hatred in her eyes.
It was so good. And then we dropped Will's dad back off at Ashburn so he could get his car. And then we drove home. And that's why it took a while because I didn't know that we had to make a detour to Ashburn.
So this was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Was Hermione black?
Yeah. But she was so talented.
I don't care. It's
She was so good.
I'm sure she was, but that doesn't matter. You got the playbill? That's awesome.
I didn't get it signed by anyone because we didn't stay long enough.
Who cares? That's awesome.
But
you got to go see a Broadway play.
It was the coolest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. And it was so good.
Well, I'm glad
But
you
I got
to
this
go.
and then I got a Hufflepuff pin, even though I'm not a Hufflepuff, I'm a Ravenclaw.
You can be a Hufflepuff once in a while.
I got a Hufflepuff pin from one of like the stage managers. She gave me a Hufflepuff pin. And I also found out that they're doing Hadestown on November 18th.
Yeah, you're not going.
So
Maybe you will.
I'm gonna do everything in my power to get
Christmas present.
Do everything in my power to get tickets to
we'll,
that.
We'll see. And I love how you said this is the best restaurant I've ever been to, which is complete
it was
bullshit.
So good. It was.
Yeah, it was.
So
Maggiano's
good.
great, but so's the Hill, so's Benihana, so's.
Honestly, it was better than the Mill.
Okay, listen. Let's keep things in perspective. Are you okay?
No, it was better than the Mill.
All right, that's fine. Maggiano's is delicious for Italian food, but it's two different types of food.
Yeah, I don't think it was better than Benihana, but it was better than the Mill. It's so good.
You need to let me take you to Ruth Chris, and then you'll have the best restaurant you've ever been to, because that's delicious. Or Elway's.
We need to go to Melting Pot. Oh,
Melting Pot's good too. I mean, there's so many good restaurants that we want to. I'm so glad you got to go, and I'm so glad you have a boyfriend. I'm so glad their parents are kick-ass and they're veterans and they're Americans, and that's awesome. Did he give you a kiss?
Yeah.
That mother.
Now look at your look of hatred.
No, I don't understand why you didn't bring your mom cheesecake, because if you wanted to get her good graces, That's the way to do it. I mean, you give
Will ate the rest of the cheesecake.
Oh, so it's Will's fault.
No, we all split it. Like,
No, it's cool.
it was the family meal, and so they brought out like 4 different dishes, and we all just like passed around the table, and then like majority of it was gone. They offered if I wanted to take home the chicken Alfredo, but I just said no because there was no point. But the cheesecake was gone. The only thing left was the tiramisu.
I don't like tiramisu.
She doesn't like tiramisu.
I
She
liked
likes
it.
cheesecake.
It was really good. But
so, well, I'm glad you got to go. We had a fun show. Ryan Weaver was on. It was really fun, and he's cool. So I'm glad you got to go. I'm glad you had a good time, and everybody's hungry. Ruth Chris rocks. So does Morton. So does Elway. So does Shanahan's.
Elway's. Oh man, it's been 20 years.
Sullivan's is good.
I still remember that food.
See, we're connoisseurs of good food. All right, everybody, listen, we're going to see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go and hang out with the fams. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for everything else. Remember, you never have to apologize, not for donating. It's supposed to feel good. It's never a guilt trip. We don't do that here, and we never will. It's a matter of if you want to help out the show and help us with the cost of it, we're going to keep doing it as long as you keep supporting it. That's the way it works.
If you can't, we love you anyway. Just like and share a page. That helps.
That's it. Just make sure you start producing.
Get the
you know,
word
on
out.
the page. Be a producer for us, right? Get out, send it out there. Share what we do. You need to have a conversation with Will.
oh, what did Will do? He's great.
I don't need to have a conversation with Will. Will's
Who said that?
Will's
Oh,
very
okay.
respectful.
He's had the conversation with Will.
I've already had the conversation with Will. Will knows. And you know what's more important is that I don't need to have the conversation with Will because Hayden knows. If he did anything inappropriate, she would literally knock him in the next month. And
I don't know. He's 6'7". That would be hard.
that boy will do anything for you. So
Yeah.
and
He
that's,
had to have the conversation with Matt before he could even
and he
ask
was
Caden out,
respectful.
and
He looked me
was.
in the eye, shook my hand. He said, "Yes, sir." This guy has my full endorsement. In fact, when she got her first kiss, I was more excited than anybody. So I want my daughter happy, and I want her to feel love, and I want her to feel at least the understanding of what it feels like, because her dad despises her. So she might as well find it from somebody. All right. Anyway, all right. So we'll be back tomorrow with Leroy and I. We're going to go talk. I'm glad you had a good time. Thanks for sharing it with us. We love you guys. Appreciate you. And we'll see.
Ethan's like, where's my time
Get
in the
here.
spotlight?
Get in here. Get in here.
I don't think we got headphones for him, but oh well.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, we did it all. All right, full
The
panel.
whole fam
whole
family.
panel. What's up, dude? What are you doing?
Hello.
Well, tell me what's going on. What are you doing right now?
Huh?
What are you doing right now?
I heard Hayden laughing, so I came upstairs to say hi.
Were you playing Beat Saber or were you watching the baseball game?
Beat Saber, my head got, my neck just killed me, and then I just watched baseball for a few.
Who's winning?
Talking to the mic, yo.
2-0 Guardians.
Come
All
on.
right, it's the Guardians. I mean, listen,
Dude, we swept the Dodgers. Come on, we can't let the Guardians sweep us.
Yeah, so I guess Hayden had a great time, had a good time. It was
They
fun.
shot fire. When they were doing wand fights, they were shooting fire. And then the Dementors were like actually flying. And when they had to swim in the lake at the Goblet of Fire, like during that for the competition.
Did they do all of the movies?
It was
Talking to the mic, son.
Okay, so it was what it was. It's about Harry's daughter or Harry's son Albus Severus Potter and Draco's son Scorpius Malfoy, and it's about them. They're best friends, and then it's all of the adults or all of the kids in the original movies are older, and Cedric's dad tries to go back in time to bring Cedric back, and he recruits Albus and Scorpius to do it for him. And so they go back in time, and then they run into Bellatrix Lestrange and Voldemort's daughter. And what she's trying to do is she's trying to like make Lord Voldemort rule the world. Like she's trying to go back in time and change it to where Lord Voldemort rules the world. And so there was this whole battle, and they kind of went back in time throughout all of the movies. And during the lake scene in the Goblet of Fire, like this thing came down that made it look like water, and then they flew in the air to make it look like they were swimming. And then when the Dementors came, they would they picked people up and threw them in the air for the spells, like for Leviosa, like when Guardian Leviosa, people were flying and they chairs. Oh, it was so good. It was like
I didn't realize Bellatrix and Voldemort had a baby.
Yeah, they do. They have
Interesting.
a baby, and I can't even describe how good it was. And when they were doing like when they did Avada Kedavra, the fire was.
Avada Kedavra. You said Avada Kedavra.
It's Avada Kedavra.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Cadaver, like in a corpse.
Yes.
Yeah, Avada Kedavra. When they were doing that,
Avada Kedavra.
Avada
Kedavra.
You sound like Hermione. When
It's
when
Leviosa,
not Leviosa. When they did
I just mute her mic.
the fire was green, and then when they did Stupefy, the fire was red, and when they were just shooting things, like it was normal colored fire. It was, and then like anytime a big explosion happened, like there was actual fire, and because we were in the front row, we could feel it. Oh my gosh, it was the coolest experience of my entire life. It was so good. It was so good. I'm a theater kid.
Yep.
Okay.
She's checking her phone. Are you serious?
She's texting
Seriously,
Will.
I'm
so
texting Will.
Let me get this straight. We have to listen to your shit, and then the moment you're done, you literally disconnect.
No, I'm texting because he thanked me for coming and said good night, I love you. So I'm not gonna like leave him on red.
He told you he loved you?
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
They're already planning their future. I know the name of their 6 children.
There's some things that you can leave out from our conversations of always being honest with each other. Just, you know what I mean? There are some things.
You knew he said I love you.
Yeah, once. I didn't know you guys say it every single time.
Oh, we say it like all the time.
Yeah, like no way. Really? Like, that's awesome.
Oh, jeez.
Why aren't you doing your job? You could have grown, Ethan. You could have been a big kid and intimidated him, but no, you had to be a munchkin. Seriously, you had to make me do it.
Not my fault. I have your genes. I was as tall as you.
It's mom's. Not
It's
mine.
you.
I'm 6'4", yo. What do you want from me?
You were shorter than me when I was.
But you and Hayden are midgets, which comes from your mother. Look at me sitting up.
I'm shorter than mom.
You guys are all the same height as your mom. Look at me. It's not my gene. My genes are awesome. My super sperm did its job. It did its job.
You cannot say that.
You guys were the first. You guys were the first to cross the finish line. You're all winners in my book. Thanks for watching. Stop hitting the desk and table, Hayden.
I didn't hit the desk. My foot accidentally hit the floor.
I don't believe that with your height.
Oh, this is my life.
Hayden
on a
are
daily
all
basis.
Hayden, you're Hufflepuff?
No.
She is a Hufflepuff. She's totally a Hufflepuff.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Oh, you're
Have you seen the books in my room? I am a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, we've seen the porn books in your room.
They're good books. I don't know what to tell you. They're great books.
So, Hayden, are all dummies invited to your wedding?
Yeah.
That's a big. I'm not
As long as
paying. Friggin' you're paying for it.
She started licking me.
Ash is here. She's
Yeah, you
excited
guys
see
can come
guys.
to my wedding. It's
You
going
guys
to be
can
in a
see your
barn.
tail.
It's going to be in a barn. You have to wear cowboy boots. That's a rule.
Shit kickers, what we call them. Ethan, get taller, Patriot says.
Yeah, come on, Ethan.
Stop kicking the desk. Not talking to you, Ash. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with Leroy. We appreciate everybody. We love you guys. That was a little bit of overtime. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show.
Night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Justin transmitted output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.